And we're back with another episode of Mando. Wow, what a show. Polarizing, not polarizing. Interesting. Let's get to discussing, baby. Dan?
Bring on the Mando.
Being a Mandalorian is not just learning about how to fight. You also have to know how to navigate the galaxy.
Welcome back to another episode of Stay on Target. I'm your host, as always, Destin. It's nice to be here with everybody out there. Let us know in the comments if you're here. Sound off. 1, 2, 3. You're here. I don't know
said
what to
hi.
say. Oh, they're saying hi. Okay, cool. Hi. And with me, as always, I have Nick,
That's me, Nick.
the hobo.
Can you smell? Can you smell that? I meant to say, can you spell that? But yeah, both questions work.
Can you smell the? Can you smell what Nick is cooking?
You call me a hobo. Can you smell that?
That worked out perfectly.
You think that's air you're breathing?
Oh my goodness.
Oh wow, yeah, this is a great
This
show
is great.
already.
All right,
great
next to
start.
him, next to the hobo is Matt.
Yes, it is
Matt,
Matt.
the
It's
not hobo.
Matt. Yes, not
Few
the hobo.
the hobo.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen?
Good.
Are you talking? Are you talking to us? Or
No,
them?
he's talking to the
Her
comments,
me,
all right.
dude. Her me.
All right, and after Matt, we have the one, the only, the
After
best, Dan.
What's up, people? How you doing? Let's
Hey.
do this thing.
What's that?
They can't see you anymore. The background's all blurred out, so it's just me. You just get to look at beautiful me tonight on this
Yep,
camera.
that's all they're looking at.
They didn't want to
anymore.
see the
Man, there's some
ugliness.
people ready to talk Star Wars. We're ready to talk Star Wars, and we're gonna have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we have the fact checker. Sometimes we call her Omega when she does bad. Sometimes we call her the fact checker when she does good.
It's about 90% of the time.
Always
No,
do
it's
good.
Say hello to the people out there.
Hello to the people out there.
What's up? All right. You may dispense with the pleasantries. Thanks, everybody, for being here tonight. We're going to get into the show. Mandalorian.
We forgot where we were at.
Is that what we're getting into?
Yeah,
I
no.
thought we were gonna
The show.
just sit here and
We're
stare
gonna-
awkwardly into the camera.
We're going to do non-spoilers, and usually I have a icebreaker, and I definitely thought of one ahead of time. So what we're going to do is Nick's going to come up with one.
no.
This will keep it a little shorter, I feel like, because we won't go down a whole.
A rabbit
Yeah.
hole for
Yeah.
the question of the
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
It'll be a half hour on icebreaker, so we
That's
save
good
a
point.
half hour.
Yeah.
All right, we'll just jump right into. Let's
Let's say hi to the people that are on right now. And
Yeah,
then
let's
we'll
do
jump
it.
into
What's up,
non-spoilers.
fools?
Phil Woodard, I made it just in time.
just
That's
in
right.
time, baby.
We just basically jumped on and went live tonight. There was no preamble. So thanks for jumping in at 8 o'clock. Sayo Sinsin, are we discussing the Bad Batch? Because, wow.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to get into some Bad Batch, I think,
We'll
by
touch
the end of
upon
this.
it at least.
Yes, we will.
Oh, man. V's Stuff and Things. Hi.
Hello.
What's
Hello
good?
there.
Hello there.
Phil, there's so much to digest from this episode.
Mhm.
Hannah Roll. Hi.
Hi. Hi.
Hello. Yeah, mostly hyped on Mando, but BB was good as well. Bad Batch, says Phil. And Hannah was saying there's so much going on, and me and my twin were going down a rabbit hole of theories.
You got
Right?
a twin.
Nice.
You got a twin.
You got a twin.
You got a twin.
That's
Isn't
all.
that
That's all Matt
something?
picked up from all
You
of
got a
that.
twin.
That person's got a twin.
Amazing.
That's pretty
Twinning.
cool.
I always thought a twin would be pretty awesome.
I think so too.
Yeah.
They're both-
Especially, you could fight with them and stuff.
Yeah.
Wait,
Beat each other up, wrestle.
Why do you go straight there?
He just went
Because
straight
that's
to the
what you
violence.
do with
Yeah.
your brothers. I wish I had a brother.
They're the
I mean,
most.
you
what-
fought me.
you fought me to the death
Yeah.
and lived to tell the tale.
Oh man! And Siosin said, "Nice. I mentioned Bad Batch because the title, but I know we usually talk Mando first.
Yeah.
I didn't put in the title the Bad Batch, but I need to change that because I was jumping on so quickly. I'm going to change that now, and then, but we will get to Bad Batch and get all your thoughts because there was a lot going on. And Hannah Roll says the Bad Batch was amazing tonight. And yes, we're gonna have a blast with your twin. Right,
Yo,
Matt?
twin.
Yo, twin.
You go twin.
You know, they're
Their
like,
twin is just punching them right now. As they're commenting.
That's a
They're-
good
We
idea.
do fight.
they're simultaneously the rarest and most common people on the earth. 'Cause
What?
There's two of them.
Oh, wow, that's deep.
What?
Wow.
You just blew my mind.
I just blew my own mind.
Olivia Roll is here. The Bad Batch was awesome.
Is that your
Yeah, that's the
twin?
twin.
Is that your twin?
Is that
It's
the
those
twin?
two.
I'm
Olivia
gonna
and
guess.
Hannah Rolls.
Yes. There she is.
There she is.
Yes, there she is. All
Wow,
right.
that's awesome.
That is awesome.
It's like a
Let it
Luke
go
and
down.
Leia
It's a whole family
Let it go down in the
reunion.
records that this is the first time we had twins on the show.
on the show. This is a
You
record night
are
for
very
us.
special.
Both
yes, bro. Speaking of wise words, Phil Jr. Mando season 3 has direction that FABS thought was missing. Fabs.
Fabs.
Favs?
Fabs?
You talking about Favreau?
Fabs.
Fabs. Are we? What's Fabs short for, Phil? You gotta Phil.
Oh,
Fabulous.
you retracted it.
But
It's
they,
okay.
Oh, it's okay. It's all good. But anyway, they are twins, Olivia and Hannah. That confirms it.
I'm
that
glad
confirms
we got
it.
that.
Yes.
Twins confirmed.
Yes.
Twins
and,
confirmed.
and any relation to another role that's in the comments
Right?
frequently.
Yeah. He shows up all the time.
Chubby
Chubby
roll.
roll. Oh, yeah.
It's
So
gotta
they're
be. Maybe not.
triplets.
Maybe it's just not.
Triplets.
Triplets.
Under his eyes.
Maybe. That
Hey.
would be cool.
Wouldn't that be something?
It would be.
Anyway.
All right.
Thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate everybody being here. Also, we're trying to get to 500 subs. We're almost
You were
gonna try
totally
saying
trying
it.
to get to
You
500
were gonna try
sub
I can
sandwiches.
always count on you guys to call it out.
Yeah. He's not safe here.
500.
I must have needed a twin to make me stronger.
Twin power.
Twin powers unite. I don't know if that works. But yeah, no, we're trying to get to 500 subs. So if you guys know anybody who likes Star Wars, let them know about us because we're trying to get there tonight. If we can get there tonight, we'll be happy.
We'll do something special.
We be happy.
We'll do something special.
Yeah.
We'll all
It might work. It might not work.
we'll all turn into twins.
Right?
Is that how it works?
I have no idea.
no,
which-
now there are two of them. This is getting out of hand. All right, but anyway, we're gonna jump into the non-spoiler section here of Mando,
Mando.
episode 5, season 3, The Pirate.
Le pirate.
Le Pirate.
Who don't do anything.
That
Just
is a good
stays
call.
home. and
Lies
around.
around.
I mean, in some ways,
Name that reference.
I know. I think I know that.
that
That's
reference.
reaching back into the vault.
That's
It is.
that's a children's show, right?
It
Movie.
is. Man,
Oh.
good for you.
I
You
know
get
what
a
it
Wookiee
is.
cookie. I know what it is. Yeah.
okay.
All right.
Let's get into the non-spoiler section of this show.
Let's do it.
So, Mando, give me some pros, give me some cons, guys. What were the pros without spoiling everything?
This
action.
is always
there
so
was action.
difficult.
Yeah.
There was action. That was a
There
pro.
was action. It was a pro.
It was a pro.
Not only was the action good tonight, I would say that it had purpose.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
There was a payoff.
there
to
was
it.
a bit of a payoff, and it made sense for the
Yeah, it
most
wasn't
part.
just-
for the most part.
Wasn't just fan service.
Yeah. Other pros. We found out some.
pros,
we
other
found out
pros.
some bigger universe situations going on. I
Yeah.
did like
A po-
that.
A possible tie-in. We don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Possible.
Right. And we're getting to the meat. We are getting to the meat of the show.
getting
Thank goodness.
We're getting down to the nitty gritty.
5 episodes in, and we now know what's going on. We kind of knew from the beginning,
Yeah.
but they never really announced it as they did in this episode.
Right.
So it's nice to know that we have a trajectory to go from here.
From here.
Let's get to any other pros. You guys want to get some other pros? Pros. What else? Pretty much action. There wasn't a lot of comedy in this.
No.
I
Well,
feel like
I mean,
it
the-
wasn't
the-
a comedy episode.
Yeah, it
No.
wasn't
Like
a
it didn't
comedy.
need it though. I feel
episode.
like.
Right. There wasn't it didn't need levity.
No, they were hammering it up pretty good though.
I mean, I laughed
There
at
was-
some parts, but that's more of a
It was
con.
cheese, yeah.
It was more of a con.
Yeah.
For me.
He was making fun of the episode.
Yeah, I wasn't really well.
He had a
Yeah.
bad day.
I had
Dustin's
a bad day. Okay, look.
Dustin's ready to
It was
just
rough.
go off. He's ready to go off.
No. I will praise. I will praise it for what it's good, but I will
Yeah.
also point out the glaring holes that have appeared in certain episodes.
What's the
Absolutely.
terminology you used when you are annoyed by certain things that happen conveniently?
plot conveniences. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Yes.
Yes.
Plot.
Yeah,
Dustin
so-
thought there were some plot
No, it's
conveniences,
not
but we're
that.
staying on the pros.
Yeah.
Not too many. Phil said not too many cons, not too many. The ending was a little off-putting, but I'll say why later.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Pudding.
interesting plot development, and I did like that with the Mandalorians. That is not a spoiler, and the greater world building of the Mandalorians. That was pretty exciting.
Yep.
And I liked.
Indeed.
We bounced around. We were on quite a few locales, right?
Yeah, that was cool.
It was interesting.
CGI was definitely a pro in this one, 100%. The ships looked
Oh,
clean.
man.
I mean, everything looked good. Even the guest appearance, which hasn't been confirmed. I would like fact checker. Can you check
Yeah.
on the?
We'll spoil that one later.
We'll spoil it later. We're not going to say it now.
I'm
Don't you worry.
convinced
You're
that
convinced.
person was who we think it was.
I,
but
I would say so. It would make sense.
Have we? Yeah, I'm not gonna. I think it is. I hope it is.
if that is who
Yeah.
we think it was,
Because that would be
then-
a cool thing. Because like we were looking for something to kind of tie into something,
yes,
and that could be the something.
Yeah.
the world is officially.
I love how so vague we have to be about
Yeah.
non-spoilers.
Oh yeah,
Non-spoilers
Yeah, this
are
thing
annoying.
happens and it's great.
it
Wait,
is. They
what?
did
Yes?
confirm that.
Did they confirm it?
Who confirmed
All
that?
right, let's save it for spoilers.
We'll save it for spoiler. Okay. Sorry.
What?
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
What?
Just so you know,
It
there's a
was.
surprise guest appearance in this.
Yeah.
We will save it for spoilers.
There was
If you haven't seen
technically-
the episode. Check it
Yeah,
out.
yeah. Where there was like a return of another character from season 2, and that we hadn't seen yet, and he played a very big role in this one in directing where things happened. Right? I mean, we kind of
Yeah.
followed
Yeah.
him as he was figuring things out.
It was almost more his episode.
It was his episode. I like that. I like him as a character. Actually,
Yeah.
he's
Well, see-
smart. He knows
yeah.
what's going on.
It's just a much better episode than that one that we got.
Yeah.
On
You know.
Coruscant.
On Coruscant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Episode
kind of showed up.
3.
Yeah.
That
It
person
must have been.
on Coruscant that we don't trust.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There was a couple
a
funny
little-
moments on that, but anyway, other than that, I think it was a solid episode. Maybe not as I don't know. It was just it carried on from episode 4. I'm not saying it was worse than last week's, but last week's was amazing.
Yeah.
You know, if that was the mid-season finale, here we are. We're pushing the ball forward.
Going
There was
down
some,
the hill.
there were some huge things that happened though in this episode that got me really excited.
Yeah.
So
For sure. Definitely. Those are definitely the pros. I'd say some of the cons, though, just touching on real quick,
Yep.
is
Let's hear it.
there's
Plot
definitely some plot
convenience.
conveniences. Just kind of glaring to me in some ways. I mean,
Yeah.
Even they said some lines, and I was just like, well, then how did that happen?
Yeah.
How can they do this?
You were just like
How did
they
the-
like did contradicting stuff
That-
within seconds.
Okay, I'm not trying to nitpick it.
Yeah.
I'm really not. I mean, if you just turn off your brain in some ways and just let it go, it's
Yeah.
fine. And maybe I'm looking into it too much. I'm trying not to be too negative.
well,
on it,
you're
really.
building on what they've given you in other episodes is
Yeah.
where you're getting with this because the Mandalorian sect we have questions that
Yeah.
need answered.
Yeah.
Right? We made fun of it in a couple of shorts this past week.
Yes,
And
exactly.
it's just kind of continuing on. I kind of accept it for what it is because I kind of realize that they have a long ways to go
Yeah.
before they are really the true, I mean, you know, the powerhouses that we want them to be, that we're used to with Mandalorians.
Yeah.
It's part
Yeah.
of it.
I get where you're coming from. For me, it's just like we're in the 3rd season of this show. At this point, I feel like we should have things tightened down a little bit.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be as glaring of holes in certain things that really a line of dialogue or two, or just thinking it through a little bit more
Yep.
could
Would have
solve
saved it. Yeah.
all of these problems. Like, and that's where I run into the issue. I'm like, who's not thinking the common sense things here? Like,
Yeah.
who's not asking the right questions?
Yeah.
That is the right question.
The
Rex.
episode was a little Disneyfied in a way.
Yeah, I'd say that. We'll get into that more in spoilers. I'm not dogging on the episode.
He is.
I enjoyed the episode for what it was, for sure. And
He did.
at least we're moving forward with the story, which is the main thing. So that's why I'm calling it a pro for sure.
Yeah.
The other con I'll say in this was there was some acting that I felt like was a little,
It was a
subpar.
A little stiff. A little goofy.
It wasn't,
I
you know,
could- I understand.
I'm just keeping it real, okay? You know, we can't be
Keeping it
100%
one.
positive all the time.
Everybody's got their tomatoes and they're ready to launch them.
That's fine.
You're
You know,
about to
I
get
will take
pelted.
those tomatoes.
Right.
Me and my twin will come at you. No, I'm just joking. Just grows out of my shoulder.
It's like that Family Guy episode. Of,
I think I'm misrepresenting the twins
Peter
that are out
Griffin.
there. I'm
Right, yeah.
sorry.
You're just
that's
trying
not
to
how twins work,
That's not how
Dustin.
you're just trying to
Star
offend
Wars.
them. Anybody new, we just try to offend
No.
right away. That way they feel welcome.
I think as I'm watching the chat go through, there's some similarities in the thought process of the things that we're saying. So we're not going to get to all those comments right now. We'll talk about them in spoilers, so save a lot of that. But not to save it. Keep talking. Have a good time.
Keep talking.
But
people.
yeah, Dustin, you're not on a cliff about to fall off, and everybody's about to push you off. Yeah,
Not about to be crucified.
yeah, not yet,
I
not
talk
yet.
that way.
Why do you sound like
did
Greg?
I don't know. I just started talking like that.
Not about to be crucified.
They're gonna crucify you in the spoiler section.
chopper,
So this is
no.
still the non-spoiler section. So, and yeah, we got a bunch of new people jumping in. So, finish your thoughts.
Awesome.
What
Yeah,
are we
let's
jumping
finish up.
into?
So those are pretty much the cons I have. There's
Yeah.
we'll touch on most of those. That overall, I'd say it. I'm still kind of digesting. We just watched it, so it's like I'm still going through everything in my mind. Overall, since we moved the story forward, it's a pro. It's definitely a good episode in my opinion.
Yeah.
The nitpicks I have, I just don't like that they're getting worse in some ways from certain episodes.
Right. It's almost like, what are you guys doing? Like you had a good thing going, and now you're kind of stepping back.
Yeah, I mean,
Going in
maybe they'll
reverse.
fix it later,
Right.
but they just didn't in this.
I
And
feel like
that's
it just elevates Din and Bo as leaders.
the plot conveniences.
Not the plot conveniences, but the things that
Stop
happen
putting words into
to
his
those people.
Oh, sorry.
I mean,
Well, I was talking about it.
I don't know all the plot conveniences you're thinking about. But
Oh, okay.
I just mean that
For
group
the
of
episode itself.
the group of Mandalorians and
Right.
the reasons of why they do certain things and how they, But anyway, that's it. So,
Anyway. No.
I see what you're saying.
No, for sure. There's definitely pros. There's a lot of pros of this episode. There's a lot of cons for me, but I still think the pros outweigh the cons in this episode. I just feel like it's getting harder for me to
It's
not
just
say
like-
anything about the cons.
It's like
in some ways.
glaring cons.
Yeah, that's the problem. And then when it makes zero sense for certain things, you're like, what?
Yeah. What?
I don't
Well, and
know.
they left it on a question mark that, again, you felt like
Yeah.
it left you on a plot convenience maybe or some kind of question mark, right?
Or
Yeah,
like a
I mean,
bait
not
and switch.
necessarily even
Okay.
the end. I'm not even saying the end of the episode. The end of the
Okay.
episode, I was more fine with. That's
Yeah,
not
that's
not
just
a glaring
interesting,
plot
yeah.
hole to me. That actually makes sense. I understand where they're
Yeah.
going with that. It was more earlier on in the episode. Some of the acting, some of the lines, some of
Yeah.
the like reasons they do things or don't do things.
On
How-
Coruscant? You
how
talking about
do
on
they do
Coruscant?
No,
Before that.
Spoilers, man.
no, I'm not talking about that.
I'm sorry.
We'll get into
I don't
those.
know.
Let's just go. We can go right
go
into
into
spoilers
spoilers.
right now. We're talking
We're
about
over-
this
we're-
way too long.
Beating a dead horse.
There's,
beating a dead
horse is
there's
dead.
nothing else to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
But overall, I think it is a good episode, and we're finally getting to. I think the next season is going to be the 3 arc.
The next episodes, you mean?
Next three episodes.
The next
Wow, I can't
season
talk.
is in the future.
right.
Dustin.
No, the next 3 episodes are going to be like a 3 arc
Also, the
act.
next
I hope
episode.
Yeah.
The end game.
the end game. Yeah. So, Oh yeah, no, you were right, Dan. I guess the very, very end there was a little bit of a plot convenience in some ways, which
Yeah.
I think will be explained in the next episode. But so that one's not too terrible. I thought you meant something else. Anyway, yeah. Any other thoughts on non-spoilers, you guys? Worth watching?
Definitely worth
Yeah,
watching.
Definitely worth
Yeah,
watching.
no, for sure, because it moves on the whole thing. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
Train is
action
moving.
I think I've almost enjoyed the Starfighter battles in this season
Yeah.
the most.
So
I think that's
good.
where it really shines.
Oh,
yeah,
man,
for sure.
yeah.
Whoever's doing the CGI, they're killing it in this.
Killing it.
And the directing of that, because
Yeah.
we've seen other space battles that just kind of felt weak. These are
Right.
just they're
Yeah.
well thought out.
They
Like,
are.
They use the terrain. They use, the weaponry that they have, and kind of have formations and
They
stuff.
use their wits.
It's not just
Yeah.
a waste. Yeah, yeah.
And that's why it's so glaringly obvious for some of the other things. You're like, they put like so much detail in those dogfights that whenever they're talking about
Yeah.
other things and they're like missing things
Yeah,
terribly,
right.
You're like, wait a sec.
You're like
Somebody
something's
needs to talk to whoever's doing the CGI battles and
Yeah.
have them just like
Yeah.
read over the rest of the script.
not- like,
To
something's
quote
not right
Dustin
here.
earlier, tighten up.
Tighten up. Yeah. Anyway,
It's all good.
but a solid episode. So
Yeah.
let us know in the comments, non-spoilery, what you guys thought of this episode.
Yeah.
And
People
let's
already-
hit some of these comments.
People are past that already at this point.
Yeah.
Dustin.
No,
they
he's,
already-
we
he's
need to
talking
jump
about
into the spoilers.
in the non-spoiler video that we're dropping
Yeah.
with this that will come out tomorrow. That's what he's talking about in the comments of the but
Right.
anyway, there's
All
a lot
right.
of people chatting. You wanna get to their thoughts?
Yeah, well,
Just
we'll
a
just
little
jump
bit,
into we'll just jump into it. we probably got spoilers, so we'll just jump into spoilers, and then we'll touch on some thoughts, and then jump into ours. So yes, we're gonna jump. If you haven't seen tonight's episode of Mandalorian,
Turn away now.
Turn away now, and then come back when you have seen it. It's a fantastic episode. Go and watch it. We have lots of thoughts on it tonight, and I'm sure everybody will. And don't forget to subscribe because we're trying to get to that 500 mark tonight.
500.
Also, check us out on Rumble. We're also on Rumble, too. Check us out all over the place. Check us out. Check Matt out.
I was looking at the comments and
Matt's like, I'm lost. What's going on?
I'm really good at setting you up
checked out
for,
now. By people
awkwardly
I don't
setting
know.
you up. So you like torture. All right. All right, we're getting to spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, we have 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Everybody dies.
Everybody dies.
Classic.
Classic. We have to do it.
Nobody
now.
dies.
I feel like that's going to be a
Dumb
shirt
death.
one day. You know,
It is. It's gonna.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm not even gonna
Everybody
say-
dies.
The one time that actually happens, I won't say it.
Yeah.
And then they'll know.
And we'll be like, yeah, everybody lived happily ever after.
What are we
There was no death of any kind.
What a twist.
What
a
show
twist.
are we watching that just kills everyone?
All right, let's
One.
hit some of these comments right now, and then
Yeah.
we'll kind of go into
Yeah,
our,
and start dropping your questions in, and we'll try and answer the questions as we move along in the spoiler section and give our thoughts. Right?
or we'll go to our points first and then jump back.
Yeah.
The big spoiler.
Yeah.
Talking
So
to the mic,
Zeb,
I can't hear you.
Yeah,
Zeb?
talking to the mic. fact
Spoiler:
checker so that we
Zeb. Was that Zebarelius?
Zebarelius.
so.
Yes. Yes.
That was
Yes.
Zebarelius.
It's
Yeah.
confirmed.
I knew it
Confirmed
was.
is
Awesome.
confirmed. Yes. Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Okay.
There's other spoilers too. Other characters. What's
Okay.
it called? Cameos.
Okay.
Ooh, what?
Who's the other cameo?
Wolf. I just lost it.
You,
Trapper Wolf?
Trapper Wolf.
Trapper Wolf?
Dave
Filoni's
Filoni was in
character?
it. And
Oh, I
then
didn't see him.
He was in the
Star
background?
Scene, so is Deborah Chow and
wow. I totally missed
Famuyiwa.
Rick
Rick Famuyiwa was in
they're
it.
all
The guy who
in that.
directed
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That makes sense because
Gotta
they are.
rewatch the bar scene.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
cool.
that
But
makes
Zeb
sense.
is Phil. Indeed, it was Zeb. The voice got me instantly.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
that's Zeb's.
Yeah.
That's absolutely his voice. He
It just
looks
didn't
like
sound
him.
as growly to me. I didn't
No.
feel like it was as growly as Zeb's voice
He's,
normally
he
is.
stopped. He stopped smoking 2 packs.
apparently.
he's
He went down to
refined
one
now.
pack of Reds.
He was wearing the New Republic arm uniform, so he's kind of smoothed out his voice. He's taking vocal lessons.
Right.
He's got a side career of singing. Right?
Yeah,
he's
he's in the space opera.
Doesn't that make his
Travels
voice
across
more
the
hoarse?
universe.
yeah.
Serenades us. with
Wrecker's
his
going to have
songs.
a taste testing. He's going to become a taste tester at the end of this season of Bad Batch. And
Right.
Zeb's a operatic singer now. This is
Wow.
what happens after war.
What?
right? The big
What
guns,
is
they got to
happening
do
to these-
I don't
something.
know.
They've been Disneyfied.
But I like that Zeb was in it. That was epic because that
yeah.
I thought it was cool.
completely unlocks the rebels.
Ghost
Yeah.
Crew. And,
Ghost
yeah.
Crew, yeah.
They're
Ghost
in.
Crew.
That's it. That's Thrawn. That is Ezra. That is Sabine. That is Hera. We know who's around with Chopper.
Right.
I mean, we're in.
Jabba.
It's the end game now.
And
for-
we had a little bit of a taste of that with the whole Purgle.
Yeah.
That was kind of
Right.
like the onset.
And
but
then
this
here's
is like
another-
the,
that was like an
it's-
appetizer. This
They
is
keep
like
giving it.
this is like a buffet now almost.
Well, why didn't he?
Well,
I
two
wish he would have
things don't make
actually
a buffet.
said like Zeb.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said, well, 2 things don't make a buffet quite yet.
Right. Yeah. We're getting there. We're building up.
It's
More
like a
of
sandwich.
More of a what?
It's the second appetizer. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Second appetizer.
What do you call that?
Zeb Aurelius.
It's not quite an
It's,
entree.
it's an hors d'oeuvre.
Order. That's still. I feel like that's an
That's
appetizer.
finger food.
I mean, Zeb's
Whatever,
a pretty
man.
good. Zeb is a main course,
Yeah.
wouldn't you say?
I
Because
don't-
that's the rebels.
Was the
It's a
was
piece of the main course.
Yeah.
or were the Purgle the chips? You know, the like you get chips and dip ahead of time.
Yeah.
Are we at a Mexican restaurant? I want to know where we're at right now.
If the
We're-
Purgle
I
or
need
the
clarity.
chips,
Saying
what
universe,
is the
Dustin.
dip? If the Purgle or the chips, what do we dip the Purgle in?
Is this a be our guest
We
situation?
dip it in the galaxy.
Be our guest.
Oh wow, we just went off on a food
Yeah, we
tangent
did.
yet again.
We really did.
Yeah, we love it. We love it.
No, but I'm of two minds with the whole Zeb Aurelius thing. A, it's fun to say his name that way.
Yeah.
B, I feel like he should be doing more. Like,
Yeah.
why is he just a starfighter pilot in the middle of nowhere?
The real question is, why aren't you a starfighter?
Yeah,
pilot in the
Justin,
middle
what
of
are
I
you
mean, I
doing
wish
to help
I
the
was.
universe?
That's a huge question, and
You know
that's
what?
what we need to have answered.
I'm not disappointed by seeing him, but I'm disappointed. No,
But I am
no.
disappointed.
I like seeing him, and the CGI again was
It
solid
was
on him.
good. He looked really good.
Yeah, he looked way better than I'd say even Gorian Shard.
Yeah.
Gorian
Yeah,
Shard
no,
was
for sure.
was like a callback, and it felt like very original trilogy, which I didn't mind.
He was like a Muppet.
Yeah, he was,
Yeah.
but I was fine with it. They did a good job.
And by the way, Nora chimed in. Nora Scholar, I'm saying it Scholar. Hope that's right. By the way, this is in the Mandalorian. That's just pretty darn close to his actual speaking voice in real
Yeah.
life. So like he might have
Yeah.
growled it up for the animated show to make it feel more, animated,
'cause it was-
exaggerated.
He was hamming it up.
Maybe,
And
So
that's what
maybe.
kind of threw me off a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean,
now he's like real life,
He's
or
dignified.
what's the word? Live action.
Yeah.
So like
He's real life.
He's a scary looking dude.
Yeah, and
he's a big old
older.
dude.
He's older too, I guess, at this
Yeah.
point.
the
so maybe
CG
there's a
was
bit of
good
that.
though. The CG I thought was really
Yeah.
good.
Definitely
Right.
a highlight.
No, he
of
looked
this
really
episode.
good.
By the way, one of the twins said when you dip the Purgle into hyperspace sauce. Thank you.
Yeah, there we
That's
go.
that
'Cause
sounds
We need to come up
What
with
is
a
that?
Star Wars
We-
themed restaurant.
We do.
That would be great.
Is that their
We should do an
pee?
episode that's like all about food, but it's like Star
I don't
Wars
know. That's what I'm
food.
trying to figure out.
Welcome to. It's like an ASMR video. It's like welcome to the Stay on Target experience. First, we're gonna start you off with some
Calamari.
Purgle. No, Purgle.
They don't have calamari.
Dang
in
it.
there.
This is
It would be
delicacy.
calamari.
I feel like
Just have
But
a mic
it's-
next to us, like
frowned upon in some spaces.
man,
this is a horrible idea.
I feel
Yeah.
like you'd get sick from that.
No, but
Yeah.
my
'Cause,
problem
like,
with. Sorry, go ahead. Keep going.
Because
man.
like, what's in them to allow them to hyperdrive?
Yeah.
Oh,
I feel like you could not eat them.
what if you get? What if you
Or you could
gain
hyperdrive
force
after.
powers through
Or
eating
that.
them,
Okay.
or you can teleport? You
Yeah.
can jump into hyperspace yourself.
It's literally like you just move like so little and you just across the room. It's like, oh, it's a gift and a curse.
All right.
I need the remote. I got it.
You're in the neighbor's
crying.
house.
Yep.
Got it.
You're just like,
Dang it!
I can't stop. I can't stop doing it.
But what if like
Oh my goodness.
matter? You can't go through matter though, so you still run into the wall every time.
You
Dang
literally-
it! Not again. Oh, he's up.
Ow!
Oh, that'd be a funny short. We should do that.
It would
Hey,
be.
Nick.
Yeah.
Sio Sin said
You suck.
Gorian Shard.
Sweet, thanks,
He
buddy.
said, "Shut up." No, he said Gorian Shard was old Greg.
I'm all
Oh my
Greg.
God, oh, Greg.
Yes.
It's pretty
Oh,
true.
that's yeah.
Honestly.
What you doing in my space,
space
fool?
I'm nothing. I'm not fishing.
Not fishing.
I was just hooking my head then, fool.
It all goes
Yeah.
back to the
What you
pirate
doing roaming
theme.
in my waters?
And V's stuff said, yeah, Gorian looked like a Muppet, but I thought it was kind of cool. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
for
I
sure.
mean, this is Star Wars. That's what I like about it. You got aliens, you got CG, you got puppets, you got practical. When he talked, it was kind of the puppet thing when he was on that. It was like a
Yeah.
giant. Why did he have to be so big?
I
Right?
don't know.
I guess to
was
make it more
noticing-
intimidating.
Yeah, that's
I
kind of how that's kind of how they show like the bad guys. Like
Yeah.
that's how the Emperor was.
It's imposing.
imposed.
And I was noticing when he was talking, it was just like,
yeah. I mean, the bottom
And
lip
then-
kind of did like a, kind of
wasn't-
moved a little bit, but,
but his lips weren't moving when he was going,
yeah,
you
some
know,
of the words didn't
making those noises. You know what I mean?
I'm not picking.
He was just
up.
like,
Really
I
not.
understand what you're saying, but the way you're describing it is
you're
hilarious.
talking, but no words are coming out of your mouth.
right.
Oh my
Uh,
So it's like a
yeah.
bad dub. It's a bad like
Yeah.
Japanese anime
like a-
dub.
It's like he had a completely different language, but they were like, yeah, let's just make it English.
Yeah, they actually did the whole thing in Huttese.
Yeah,
and
right.
they switched it. That's why it
The
didn't
last
make
second,
any
that's
sense.
why he's like,
All right, so we have.
What if that's the only sound he actually made? And it was not intimidating
It was
at
like,
all. It's just a fish character.
yeah, it's like the bad lip reading. Admiral Akbar is like,
Okay,
Oh,
so
really?
we
He
have
was on track.
successfully covered the arrival of Zeb.
No,
Yep.
I still have.
Oh,
No,
well, we,
'cause-
we went quickly off the rails into
Yeah, no.
Space Buffet.
I like
into-
seeing him, but I feel like he should be doing something more important at this point. This is after. Like Rebels is before.
Your
No, this is
opinion
after-
doesn't matter.
this is after Rebels.
I like seeing him. The last place we saw him, he went to his home planet and he took what's his name there. You think he'd be
Yeah.
like some sort
Callus.
of ambassador
You mean
for his people, or like I don't know, like running a whole battalion on his own.
Maybe
or,
Callus is at his home world.
And
Maybe.
Callus's
Being the
parents, Cyril
ambassador.
and Deidre, have to be there, right?
Oh gosh.
That's right.
Wait,
That's
no,
right.
that wouldn't work out time-wise,
Yeah,
would it?
no, it wouldn't.
We were close,
I don't
but
think so.
wrong.
Right. Yeah.
Nick said Grief Karga.
Yeah, I did say Grief Karga.
That was hilarious.
That was a good,
Cyril
that was a
and
good video.
Deidre's son, Grief Karga.
Yeah.
No, he's too nice. He's too nice
Yeah.
in this episode,
No, he
and we
is.
loved it. And he stood up to that pirate, but he didn't have any. He didn't have any defense mechanism.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what was his
Yeah.
plan
That's what I was
there?
wondering.
That
I
was-
was like,
that was-
why?
That is one of the cons.
Fail.
Yeah.
That was a fail.
Is that
Why
a
was
plot
there
convenience,
no-
Dustin?
It
Yeah.
was a bit of a plot convenience.
Why was there no soldiers?
The whole timeline up there was odd, in the sense like you think they'd have been overrun by that point. Everyone got there to save them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
like well,
Like
because
when Carson Tevez.
yeah,
Yeah, he's going to Coruscant to,
Yeah,
plea.
he's just like strolling. He's like,
yeah,
I
he's
guess
like,
I'll take a
basically yes.
leisurely trip to Coruscant to
Yeah.
plea for their survival,
Yeah.
imminent doom.
I mean, how long would that take?
Right,
For
he has
that to be-
basically from wherever he was at to go to Coruscant, then where the Mandalorian are at,
Yeah.
and then
Every-
get the Mandalorian to talk about whether they want to go or not,
Yeah.
and then go
to save them.
Save them.
yeah,
Yeah, they're all dead at this point.
I feel
There's
like they
nobody
should be
alive.
dead, really.
Well, I mean,
Gorian Shard was just hovering above the town
Right,
for like,
that was bad on his part.
like 3 weeks.
Yeah. He's like, man, I wish somebody would come and attack us right about now.
I mean, at least it gave Grief and the people time to get out of Egypt.
Yeah.
Across the-
Moses
Look, that
wandering
was-
the
12
desert
tribes
with,
out of
part
Egypt.
with Moses.
I
Part of
laughed
the Red
almost
Seas.
out loud at that part because like when they were just
it looked-
walking like in the
Yeah.
middle of nowhere, like with the ship above that could just blow you out of the sky.
Hey, you're not allowed to shoot outside the city limit.
Yeah,
right?
apparently they were only destroying the city.
Although at the
'cause
end-
pirates have
they have a
respect.
code.
At the end, though, they were about
More
to.
of a guideline.
The bullets were getting closer in the video game there. They were getting closer.
Yep.
Yeah.
You had to have one final shot to take out the last engine. That was good.
Yeah,
They were
Also-
like, ah.
Yeah. Also, yeah, why in the world did he fight to the death?
Gorian,
Pirates don't do
another
that.
con. Not a very good pirate.
Well, his
Right?
one guy was a decent pirate.
yeah, he was more. He was the most pirate out of all of them.
Oh my god. He was Captain Obvious of the air.
Yeah, he was.
He's like, he's above you.
Think back to like
Below you.
Clone Wars, Rebels, animated pirate villains, animated villains.
Yeah.
They go down in the episode. You know
Uh-huh.
that they come up, they go down. They usually die because they don't want to have to keep them around for
What's your
story
Hondo?
reasons.
Yeah.
You know,
Gosh,
Plus-
Hondo would be great.
but who's
See,
the
if
who's
Hondo
the,
was attacking this place, he'd have been gone.
He would have been like, this
I'm
is
out
no
here.
longer profitable. I'm out.
yeah.
Yeah. Would his people do the same thing though, or would he tell them you fight to the death? If let's say Hondo's leading all these pirates right now,
Well,
we
he
hope
would
they
take
are.
whoever's on his ship. I'm pretty sure at the time.
Yeah.
He wouldn't wait for anyone on ground.
No, he
No,
would
wait.
just be like, I'm out.
Whoever's
Yeah.
on the ship at the time, they're with him.
Knowing Hondo, he just takes the first escape pod that he can find.
Or that if the ship's going down.
No, what
Absolutely.
I'm saying is if Hondo is the big pirate
Right.
and this Gorian Shard is working for Hondo, would he tell Gorian Shard when he's doing his pirating to stay and go down with the ship, or would he tell him to get out? What do you think?
I think you tell him to get out.
I would
because it'd be
think.
more profitable
Yeah.
for him
Right.
not to die
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lose an
fight
entire ship
more.
and
Yeah, that's the other thing.
a bunch of men.
He'd probably care more about the ship than the men, but
All right, then this is not Hondo's pirate.
No.
it's definitely not Hondo's pirate.
I think it's a different pirate sect.
Fact checker, you got something?
Oh, just Sayo Simpson said he especially liked the total of the 20 townspeople.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah,
Right.
it was a low population.
It was like, this is it. This is all the townspeople. Everybody made it out alive.
It was it was the
was-
Disney, small world.
I mean,
But
Yeah.
I
That's
feel like definitely not
extras.
everyone made it out.
No.
You
no,
saw people
obviously a lot of
flying.
people died.
Yeah.
90% of the
Yeah.
population deceased.
They didn't really
Yeah.
make it. I mean, the explosions would look pretty devastating,
Right.
but like they didn't show people getting blown up.
Well,
Like
yeah,
you
it's
just
like-
saw him
it's
get
PG-13.
Right.
I know, but
turn it to
still.
R,
which I
bro.
get.
want to see it.
But it's just it really makes it whenever they show that many people as like extras,
Yeah.
you're just like, this is definitely a TV show.
Yep.
That's like the biggest thing that takes you out. Like everything else
It's
is
not
pretty much
legit.
fine for the most part, but then you see that and you're like, they should have CGI'd some people in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like done like
Absolutely.
a bigger like crowd.
or
type
just
thing.
don't zoom out so much. You know what I mean? Like zoom in
Right.
on people's faces as they're getting blown up. Make it feel real, and then like go
Right.
out. You know,
Or
the
do an
pro-
establishing shot that has
Right.
CGI'd people from like a distance. So you don't have to be like super precise, but it shows like, okay, maybe like 100, 200 people, you know, and then you can get in close, like you're saying, for the, you know, when he's giving a speech or when he's talking or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Right,
And it was
make
like, where were they going to? Like some caves, I guess?
right.
Did they even show them go
It
in the
wasn't
cave?
even a cave.
No,
they
they
just
didn't
set
show
up
going-
camp
Oh, okay.
outside.
Yeah,
of
there's
it.
I mean, I just-
outside.
They're
that-
probably a mile outside of the village.
I just feel
Not
like that
even.
was
It's
not.
probably like half a mile. But no, where they went, it almost looked like there was like a secret bat cave entrance door in the side of the thing. I thought he was going to open it up, and it never happened. And I was like, oh, this is bad.
That's
Yeah.
probably.
You guys are exposed.
I'll bet you what that is.
They can't see us from here. We're too far away.
It's Grief Karga's secret hideout. Like it's his like weekend getaway.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
It's
Personal
probably
place.
He's like, dude, I got a place where like my favorite people from town can come
Yeah.
when we need
right.
to hide out for like a day or two until
The
Mando's
VIP
getting here.
experience.
There's also literally nothing there. It's just sand.
yeah.
Grief, this place sucks.
It's
and
the
what are you
best, I
talking about? This is
promise.
awesome.
Vader will never show up here.
Right? Yeah.
He's got like all the chips and dip down there. He's like, come on, guys, let's hang out, watch some TV.
He's just all he's
Oh, man.
seeing. He's just seeing mirages. Like he's imagining all this stuff, and they're just like, oh, Grief's just he's
He's
gone.
lost it.
He's going.
I mean, I guess if you think about it, it's like a beautiful sunny day. You've been there for like 5 years or however many years it's been since, maybe 2 years. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and then
something
all of
like
a
that.
sudden you're just getting blown up. You're just at your house.
Right.
Yeah.
that would be
Everything's getting blown up.
devastating.
You're just like, where do we go? So half of you die.
It would be.
You just start running somewhere. You see Grief, you're like, I'll follow him. Well, not everybody's going to find Grief.
Got to get these people out of Egypt.
And then it just happens awfully quickly, but it did feel like a TV show at that point. Whereas the rest of the space battle, once the Mandalorians showed up, you know, although the battle on the planet, they instantly got surrounded.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the dumb thing was that I think could have been explained well was like, he knew the pirates were around for one
Yeah.
thing. So why didn't he just be like, you know, we need to get some, because he asked Mando to be like their sheriff, but obviously Mando turned it down. So why wouldn't he go find some other people to like, or set up some sort of militia with some ships that could defend against pirates? You knew they were
Absolutely.
out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
What they could have done was like he got a security force, but like the pirates gave the security force like an ultimatum, or they took out
Yeah.
the security force first, you know. But instead they just skipped that altogether, and that's what makes that's what degrades, I feel like, from the show. Like
Yep.
you got to think about those things, because otherwise you just made Grief Karga look like the dumbest leader ever. In
Well,
some
like,
ways.
yeah, it's been 2 years. Like he knows how to lead. How do you?
except for not to
how
set
do
up
you
security.
expect not to have security when people like that show up?
Yeah,
Right.
and the pirates were literally just there.
Yeah. And it's like, dude, are you dumb?
Yeah,
Are you all right?
That-
Grief? Need a Tums? Need a back rub?
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's the only
Been going
thing.
through
So
some stuff?
and that's what.
But anyway,
Yeah, we're kind of, I'm getting. Yeah,
I think
getting
fact
nitpicky.
checker has something to say.
Sorry, go
fact
ahead,
checker's
fact
got something to say.
Well,
We
I
got
was
some
just going
comments.
to say, in Grief's defense, he did ask Mando to be his
which
Yeah.
I
sheriff
pointed out.
or yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
I did say that,
Oh,
but then
sorry, I
after he denied that, then he should have been looking for
True,
somebody
true.
else.
Especially
And maybe
after
he was.
episode 1. Was that
Maybe he was. Maybe they just didn't get there in time. I
after
guess.
after the problem on episode 1 and they let the guy go? You know he's coming back.
right,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm saying.
Like at that
Yeah.
point, get some kind of basic defense set up. Like even if it's just some cannons on the edge of town that can,
yep,
you know,
yep, that's
and a small, like he doesn't even have a security entourage, like a
right.
nobody.
No, I
Right.
know. Yeah, that's
What about an escape vehicle? Just one big escape vehicle to get them all out of town.
or like
That's-
a dome, like something from episode 1 where they have like the
let's go down in the
security dome
culvert.
that like
Yeah.
keeps from bombardments.
They could have gone down in the
Right.
culvert. It was still there.
Yeah.
Just
Culvert
go
was
in the
there.
culvert. Go down, get underground, and they hide underground and lock the door. It's like a bunker.
Probably be the better.
Yeah,
And then the Mandalorians arrive. They save everybody. They clean up, and then they go down in the culvert, and they're all waiting there for them like they were supposed to. That's what they talked about. And
Exactly.
See, I
that's
think
the
now with how they resolved it in this episode, I think the Mandalorians are going to be the protectors.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, they're
no,
gonna
how
have
it
to
ended.
be.
Yeah, how it ended.
But
and
the way
everything.
that they protect their own on that other planet does not bode well.
Well, you
No.
see,
But hey,
they did
there's-
a lot better on this random planet.
Yeah, there's no
So-
water on this planet.
Did they do much better though? They did all right.
Well,
they
Paz
actually-
did good. Paz stepped it up.
I don't-
He just came in
And
and
the
mowed people.
armorer.
And the armorer took people out.
So the people that actually did pretty well, I mean, the
They all
Mandalorians were
did
doing
what
pretty
they
But
good.
needed
building
to
up
do.
to
I
that-
don't think
Sorry,
it was.
I'm sorry. I'm just going a little.
Building
you
up
can't
to
say.
that, I liked.
Someone had a bad day.
I liked the momentum though.
Beats.
Didn't you guys like the momentum as Carson talked to Mando and Bo-Katan? Well, it's mostly Mando. And then they had that little powwow before they left. They're like, hey, do you think we should go? That was pretty cool.
Right.
No, yeah, it was
Definitely a pro.
Yeah.
And then they went in the cave and they had their little talk. We've never really been in their cave with all of them. We've only seen the armor in the cave. I didn't think more than 2 people were allowed in the cave at once.
I didn't think it was that big.
Yeah.
It was the
Also,
law.
yeah, after every word, they're just
I was
like,
gonna get Yeah.
It's like, what are you saying? Are you all just mumbling?
Yeah.
Is that it?
They should have
That
left
took
that
me out
out.
a few
They
times.
should have
Yeah.
left that out.
It was funny, but
I get why they did it, but they didn't need to do it after
Yeah.
every word.
Every single word. It's like, dude, if you're
just
gonna
wait
say
till
stuff,
he's done saying what he needs to
say
say,
it-
and then
yeah.
whisper to each other.
say it after he's done.
And the whole,
It's just silly.
and the whole like, they're really leaning into the whole tribal aspect of like, a
I got
camp
the-
where you learn
I got
how
the
to
talking
trust
stick.
each other because he's got the talking stick.
Yeah.
I have the talking hammer. No one else can speak.
Nobody else may speak.
And then
I
he
like that.
literally
I
handed
like
it
that
off.
too, Matt.
Yeah.
I like the
I don't
hand
mind it.
talking
I don't mind it. It felt. They were really leaning into the tribal aspect of
What
it.
did
Well,
you guys
that's what
think
they
in the
are,
comments?
I
aren't
know,
they?
and that's why it still kind of makes sense. It just reminded me of like a trust camp that you go to.
Yeah.
Like he has
I
the
trust
talking
you.
stick, don't talk. Except for then they all mumble the whole time.
It's like a trust fall and they fall forward instead of backwards.
My question is, what are they actually hearing? Because everybody has a helmet on. So are they on
Is it a
some
comm?
frequency?
They
Yeah,
got
is it a
built-in
frequency?
headphones in
Yeah.
there.
So if like nobody talked, but it's like if I talk, nobody hears me anyway because I'm inside my own helmet.
Maybe
Like, if
Maybe that's what they were doing when they were mumbling. Like, what did he say? Did you hear what he said? I didn't hear what he said.
I can't understand him, bro.
They're like, I don't know, everybody else is cheering. Let's
Right.
cheer too.
I just want them
Yeah.
to like they have a microphone that feeds back every time. It's like in their head or something. But I don't know.
Every time they talk, it makes that noise because they don't have the talking hammer.
Siaosin said,
disrupts everything.
Siaosin said, I hold the conch.
I hold the conch.
The conch. Yes.
It's good.
Yes.
Oh,
But
man.
there's something about this sect that makes me smile. They are simpletons.
Yeah.
They don't have it all figured out.
idiots.
They make a lot of mistakes.
They're not good tacticians.
But they hold tight to their creed.
Their rockets
Until
don't carry enough
death.
fuel.
And it's a way for maybe this is why Mando looks so good and Bo-Katan looks so good when she's up against him because
Yeah.
they actually think outside the box.
Oh my goodness.
And they can put together complicated plans and not get themselves trapped in Navarro. Like the one street,
Yeah.
let's just walk in the middle and not check our 6, and then all of a sudden we're surrounded.
Well,
Right.
I think they kind of flanked them there.
Well, and
through
there
the
was only
buildings.
Oh,
there
those
was only
smart
4
pirates.
of them there. I was like,
Well, there was
Yeah,
two
they had-
teams of 4. Where was the other team?
They were fighting elsewhere, and they
Okay.
came dropped in later because
Yeah, I
that
feel
was Paz Vizsla.
I feel
No,
like
there
there
was
was
two fire
more
teams
than 4 people in that second team.
Well,
I
don't know.
saw.
I know.
like,
I'm saying
like
the
8.
second team came in and helped them after they got
No, that's what I'm saying.
Trapped, yeah.
circled. No, I'm telling Dustin.
Okay, Dustin
No,
was
no.
talking to
Saying
you.
something.
No, because
I
there was one. They said because they specifically landed the first one. They
Yeah.
were like team 1 or what? What did they say?
Yeah, team
Team
1.
one.
Team
they
1,
said
and then
two.
team 2 landed,
I know they weren't together.
and team
though.
2 was the one that was trapped, right?
Yeah.
Right, and
Then
then
where was team 1?
they were fighting elsewhere and then came and helped them? I assume they didn't show that. I don't know.
How
Yeah,
many
that's
teams
what I'm
were
saying.
there?
And then
Yeah.
Paz shows up and saves the day.
Well, I assumed Paz
was on
was part
team
of
one.
the first team 1.
He never said they
Or
never
was
showed him
he-
in team 1.
Backup team.
He must have been team 3 people. He must have been team.
He's his
Paz.
own team. He
He
does
was
his
Paz
own
team.
thing. You know,
Yeah.
it's like the commander. Like all you peasants go forward. They're just like
Right.
foundlings that just barely got into this fighting role, right?
Yeah.
Because they obviously left the rest of the foundlings back home, including the little turkeys that we didn't see, or raptors.
The turkeys.
where were
Turkey
they?
Raptors.
Olivia Roll said they're a little rusty, though. And that's what shows.
I can see
right?
that.
They can't even take down a giant anything, animal.
Did it?
But
Eventually.
much less like pirates that are trained to go and take over worlds, right? I mean,
Yeah,
that's
Right,
a
they've
tough
had
ask.
Combat. Yeah.
And, they might be a little nervous. They might be sweating under that armor.
I mean, I'm glad that the pirates put up a fight. It would have been lame
Right.
if the pirates didn't do anything. Because then you're like, that was a little easy. But when you think about Mandalorians with Beskar armor, like
It
They're-
should be easy.
this should be pretty
they're
decent.
trained to
you
take
have
out
the
Jedi.
ability to get higher than everybody else. You can take the high ground no matter what. With
Right.
jetpacks.
You have unlimited
Which-
high ground.
Yeah, I just feel like they didn't totally utilize everything the way that they could have.
right.
Well,
Well, she waited to shoot that missile.
right, that was
Yeah.
one of the glaring things.
Yeah,
You're
you
like,
said-
okay, you're getting destroyed. Shoot a missile into that thing, and we're good. We didn't need the armor, but it was plot convenience that the armor showed up to do an epic sequence.
Yeah.
And it
You're
was
like-
an epic sequence.
It was an
and
epic
I'm not
sequence.
upset with it.
Yeah.
I'm not
Dustin
upset.
It
just
was
had a
brutal.
bad day.
And she completely smacked him with a hammer.
She rocked it
And
out
that
there.
was-
Yeah.
in my opinion, kind of dope.
Yeah,
It was worth it.
It was dope, but you could have made it make sense at the same time. Like you
Yeah.
could have had her do it somewhere else, or I don't know, because that one lady who shot the rocket could have just taken care
It
of the
kinda
whole
reminded-
situation, and then you could have moved on, and she could have taken out a bigger bad or something
Yeah.
somewhere else. You know what I mean?
It was akin
She
to
could have
the-
showed up on the pirate ship at the end and took out the pirate king on
And then
her
took
own.
the
but
ship.
How'd she get there? She doesn't have a jetpack, does she? Or does
No.
she have one?
She doesn't
I
have
don't
a
think
jetpack.
so.
She could have.
It reminds me of Andor when the gong ringer.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, Nick. Yeah.
He just drop kicks the stormtrooper out of the thing.
It was
That
just
was
a
pretty
moment.
awesome.
It was just a
Yeah.
payoff moment. You're like, all right, you don't mess with the armor when
Yeah.
she's got her hammer. She's talking now.
Right? She's always talking.
Forever talking.
Shut up. She comes.
Shut up.
You
All right,
say a
I'm-
word. That's what
Oh.
happens in those meetings. You get hit
Yeah.
with the hammer.
All right, let me get my cons out, and then we'll go into the pros. Do you have,
But just real fast on the armor, the comment section, totally agree. She was rocking it.
Yeah.
She did. I'm not saying
Yeah.
the action sequence was bad. I think it was cool. Like I liked whenever she showed up in Wreck Shop. I just think again, it's more the writing there that I have a problem with. Like because immediately after that one Mandalorian shot a rocket and blew up some people. Like you could have done that to take out the big gun,
Yeah, I
which
get
only
that.
the armor could get. Which it was cool that she did that, but
Mhm.
again, it was like
But
make
how-
it make sense.
How easy is it to aim that rocket?
I mean, she blew up
Yeah,
two
it is
people
true.
with that.
It wasn't very straight though.
It
It
wasn't.
was like
And it was
Yeah,
low
but-
level. That thing would have been It probably would have just
You
gone.
would have to. I mean,
probably would have hit
if you
Mandos.
think about it from that point too,
Right.
it might not be an easy
Well,
aiming. 'Cause
and
it's
they
on the
could have
wrist.
showed
What
that.
sight is there.
They could have showed that. They could have showed somebody shooting a rocket and it missing, and that's why they needed the armor to come in.
somebody
You know what
just
I mean?
smacks it out of the air. Like, get that out of my
Get
face.
out
I mean,
of
they
my
got
face.
that big
Paper
cannon
airplane.
that had them pinned down. Like they thought they were in trouble before. That cannon took out a couple of Mandos,
Yeah.
right?
definitely.
I mean, like
It
they're
hit
gone.
Paz.
Well, but did
and
they die?
knocked him
though?
Yeah.
down.
I don't know if they died
I
because
don't
they got
think
the
they
best
did.
car.
I think they just got knocked down.
I mean,
I
because
think maybe one of them did.
Paz
One of them
got
looked
hit
pretty-
by it, and he survived. Obviously,
One of them looked like they got gone.
it definitely knocked the wind out of him.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I'm going
All
to
right.
touch on some more of my negatives here. I'm just going to get them out of the way, and then we'll go back to pros. I'm sorry, okay? There's a dose of reality here.
We're just gonna leave and come back.
No,
after
no, no.
Dustin's
We'll be
done.
back.
It makes
in an
sense,
hour.
okay?
Dustin's rant will
It's all part of the
continue.
process.
It's part of the
you
process.
praise
Okay.
the good and you
I just
do
don't-
whatever you do.
That's what I'm talking about with the plot conveniences of the show in some ways. Like, you got to turn off your brain. I get it in some ways and just enjoy it. And I do enjoy those parts. But it was like the Moses sequence, like, they're not getting blown up. Why? Also, when they're the
You
biggest.
want him to get
No.
blown up?
It's just like the ship flying in the air was there to destroy them, and they just let them walk away. And then at the end, they decide to shoot them because I guess they have no other option.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that
the
one.
10 plagues
the-
convinced him to let them go.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to kill them on the
Yeah.
way. And then he was
Let
like, well, maybe
my
we should.
people go.
They didn't show the 10 plagues. If I would have seen the 10 plagues, then it would make sense. All right.
You saw one
I saw 0.
raining fire from the sky.
They were raining fire from the sky, not on them.
That was
He
one of the
actually-
plagues.
One of the plagues was
Brought-
wrong.
Fire and brimstone.
But it didn't hit them.
Gorian was a CG character. The plague turned him into a Muppet.
Yeah. There you go.
No, but the biggest plot convenient, or the biggest dumbest thing in this whole episode that I just drove me crazy and I laughed out loud in was whenever Carson Teva shows up and they
Oh,
they're like, oh, we're gonna have to move. And then he's like, what? Somebody said, like, well, we don't have any ships.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And I'm
He's
like,
Mando said that.
Yeah.
I think.
yeah, but
He's like, how do you expect us to help? We don't have any ships. Like
Yeah.
right after he said,
right
now we
after
got to
you said we're gonna
relocate.
relocate. I'm like, how did you get there? How did you get there? How are you planning on leaving?
Right.
If
They have
Bo-Katan
ships
would
now.
have shown up, or Mando, I mean, even Mando, you couldn't go. It's like a 1-person ship.
Now they know where we're at. We got to get out of here.
Right.
I guess we're
we'll
gonna
just-
walk because we
Walk
can't use our
through the solar
jetpacks very
system.
far.
Let's take one of the Raptors. Maybe we can break through the atmosphere.
Yeah. Right.
We got enough space.
That was the
And not
dumbest
burn up.
moment. I'm sorry. That was so dumb to me because it was like, how do you expect us to help? We don't have any ships.
Yeah.
It's like,
Right
how
after
are
he's
you
like, oh, great, now we got to
relocating?
relocate.
How did you get there?
Yeah.
Where are the ships?
They took the Purgle. Come on.
Right. Yeah. They just teleported.
Okay, it's a turn off your brain moment. I get it, but it was like in that succession, it just made 0 sense, and it drove me a little crazy. Okay, because that's what I'm talking about with these plot conveniences.
Yeah.
Oh, also the armor and that whole situation. I mean, I like the sequence, but it was like use the rocket, blow them up, use the tools that you have. Every Mandalorian on their own should be able to take out like 10 pirates.
Mhm.
You know, that's how good the Mandalorians are. Their armor is specifically set up to fight Jedi, which I guess they weren't fighting Jedi. So in that point, yes. But they also have bulletproof armor. You know what I mean? Just walk up to them and hit them in the head. Chop off their heads. You got like so many weapons, whistling birds. You got all these things.
We hear you, man.
Do you?
We're
I don't
just
know.
trying
There's-
to not
they are
say anything that
completely-
We're trying to
makes
just
you go
let
over the edge.
They don't
Talk
know
it
what to
out.
do when Mando and Bo-Katan aren't there now.
Yeah.
They never knew what to do before because they weren't going to get out of there.
Well,
They're like,
Right.
get out of here, Blue Man, or what they call
Yeah,
Carson
Blue.
Seven? Blue. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was Blue Man. He said Blue Man.
Yeah.
We need to put the Blue,
Blue
Man
Man
group on him. He shows up. Get out of here, Blue Man.
Blue man.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah,
our-
it pans over. They're just like
The Blue Man group's right there.
they're just like trying to hide behind rocks.
They're like throwing marshmallows into each other's mouths.
What?
That's what they do.
That's
dude.
what they do, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
did they?
yeah.
Yeah,
I was like,
it's
that's
hilarious.
random.
It's
It's like it's awesome, but it's also the most random stuff you've ever seen.
They're the ones playing the drums.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're playing the drums for the beat, and then they look over at
Like,
him.
this is the way.
Yep.
Get out of here, Blue Man. Oh.
Yeah. They're the ones actually making all the. It was just low drumming. It was like.
I did like the Paz bait and switch when he was like all passionate. You're like, oh no, he's gonna like he's ragging on Mando
Yeah.
again.
Yeah,
and
I
Bo-Katan's
did
It's like,
like,
oh, why
that-
do we gotta sacrifice ourselves for him?
That
He
was a
turned
cool
it
sequence.
around, yeah.
Agreed.
There's some funny comments here. Hannah said, I hope they relocate the raptor babies too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Molly
sure they
Taylor, quick thought on a feast. Remember when Bo-Katan invited Mando for a feast?
In for a feast.
I would
yeah.
invite you in for a feast, but I'm guessing that helmet isn't coming off again. And how do you eat when other people are around?
Right? Yeah.
Why would you invite them in for a feast? I guess at that point, Bo,
She didn't know the rules
Yeah,
at
she
that
didn't.
point.
No.
I guess, but she had her helmet. She wasn't going to take her helmet off, so how would they have eaten? She didn't even know how that would happen.
I think
No.
she was undecided. I think at that point she was still undecided until the armor said,
Yeah.
well, did you bathe? And blah, blah, blah.
I think she was trying to be hospitable,
Did you do this
and
and
then,
that?
you know.
I still don't even know
was
why we're
romantic.
following the armor and listening to the armor in some ways.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That scene doesn't make sense to me. The whole.
The end
well, I
sequence?
understand. Like, you know, Bo-Katan walks
Nick's
both
joined
worlds,
The dark side, yes.
and it's
Join
like,
me, friend.
and then she comes out with her helmet off and isn't ostracized from
yeah,
the group.
I was like, I thought that was the plan. I thought she
Yeah.
was trying to get rid of her.
I wasn't sure what was happening
She's
at
like,
first.
remove
Maybe
your
she
helmet.
still is.
What?
Because they were playing like super ominous music. Like,
Yeah.
if it
I
wasn't,
thought she was gonna like. We were thinking she was gonna kill her,
yeah, I was
or
like, what is
something.
happening? Is the Emperor going to show up?
thought
Yeah.
she was about to get shot in the back of the head.
and then I thought the armorer had taken her helmet off because they
I
were
thought-
walking
yeah,
through.
because they didn't show their faces.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh shoot,
Oh
we're gonna
shoot!
see the armorer's face.
Now everybody can take their helmet off. And
That's why everyone's looking.
That
See
would have
all
been a
the
more
faces.
uniting thing, you know, for
Yeah.
them to do. For like, we got to forget this old creed a little bit
Yeah.
and evolve with the time.
But no,
Right.
it was just like, oh, she walks both worlds. It's like, what does that mean? And nobody knows.
I
We're
hope
just
it
gonna go with
leads
it.
to eventually them all taking the helmets off. But
Yeah.
I think it just.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, Siasin said, I hate how the armor switched up the rules for Bo. If it's acceptable for her to take off the helmet, shouldn't it be for everyone?
Yeah,
Or
that's
else,
what I'm saying.
Or else why
That's what
even
I'm saying.
hold the belief in the first place?
Yeah.
Rules, man. They are important.
rules are made to be broke. That's how I live life.
Well, and I think the armor is realizing the greater Star Wars universe out there just in time for the Navarro rescue,
Yeah.
because they do need a place to put some roots in the ground, if you know
Yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah, I'm okay
True.
with that part.
And
Yeah,
I
that-
think
that
the
part's cool.
armorer is finally realizing, with the help of Bo-Katan, seeing the mythosaur, I think that's really changed her opinion. She played it off like it was no big deal, left us all in suspense. And then when she brought her in, they were like, she's just going to shoot her and go get
Yeah.
the mythosaur for herself. We
Yeah.
were like, I think they did that on purpose. They bait and switched us with Paz, and then they switched us around with the armor.
Yeah.
Again, I think they're trying to up the stakes so that when you realize what's actually happening, that's totally like a Filoni move or something. You know, it's like take you one way and then flip it the other way. So I think that's part of the process here is just reuniting Mandalore and the armor changing her ways. I think it might be the first step toward
Yeah.
them taking their helmet off.
I think once she
But they're
unites
slowly getting there.
them,
Yeah,
and people in the chat even agree
yeah.
that it was The music was too ominous.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
too
It was
ominous
like-
there.
What's going on here?
They needed the Blue Man Group.
Yeah.
Where-
Would you stop that?
Dude, we should show up one time as a Blue Man Group. We could all do it as the three of us here.
Where are we gonna get all that blue paint?
Maybe if we get to 500
I think we
subs.
just get.
What are we
full
at right now?
I think we need to get blue bodysuits. I'm not paying.
Almost 480, I think.
480.
We're over 480.
Yeah.
We're at
480,
480, baby. We got 20 more to go. Tell your
480.
friends. Tell your frenemies. Tell your enemies. I messed that up.
Yeah, you
All
did.
right. Yeah, I think the armor realized because she's like the high priestess of the whole like group. The only thing is like, why are we following her for one thing? Because like really, she hasn't really got us very far.
No.
I mean, she makes the armor. I get that, and she kind of takes care of the people.
Maybe that's like the highest.
But
It's gonna come back to her always, just because of the armor.
obviously
Yeah.
she was a follower of Maul because she has the horns on her helmet.
How do you know that?
Because she has
Do
the
you know
horns.
for
The
sure?
horn, it could- well,
I don't know 100%, but
Yeah.
maybe
Maybe her
point.
parents were.
possibly, and then she
Yeah.
just inherited that. But
Yeah,
I
man.
think
I don't
the
know. Maybe it
timeline-
was her. I don't know.
I think the timeline. No, she's older, so
Yeah.
she would be she'd have to be
But her
Around that
armor
time.
doesn't match up. The colors don't match up.
right. The colors don't, but the
Yeah.
horns on the top do, which might just be a
Face it.
subtle reference more to what happened to her in the
Yeah.
past.
Face it.
So
She's
that
the
might
devil.
Not, that face.
A lot of
No.
a lot of people
But-
in the comments are saying they don't trust
Yeah.
the
no.
armor.
Yeah,
a
that's
lot
the-
of people are saying
That's the
that,
weird
and
thing
yeah.
about it. You're like,
Well, yeah, I agree.
why did Bo just trust her enough, like after not knowing her and also
Right.
despising the watch, like an episode before, or 2 episodes or
Well,
whatever?
any cult leader, it's hard to trust them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would we agree on that?
Yes.
But
It's also easy because they're very
Cults-
charismatic.
Cults are a sticky situation.
I wouldn't know, by the way.
It's yeah, Matt's the one who likes cults, right?
I do like
I thought that was the torture.
Eddie.
I thought-
Ba-
You like
Torture
cults too. Torture cults.
Oh man.
Oh,
Sorry,
man.
Dan, what
All
were you
right, no,
saying?
I was gonna say these comments coming in are on fire, you guys and girls out there.
Yeah.
It's literally lit.
All right, let's hit some right
Shit,
now.
No, I'm just saying. But
burning
Eddie
up.
Bear said rules are meant to be broken or changed. This leads to Grogu not having to wear a helmet.
Yeah.
You know, because they're not
could
gonna
work.
help. We said they're not gonna do it because, or somebody said in the comments because he's worth too much to
Yesterday,
Disney,
last
right?
night. Yeah,
Last
I think
night.
it was V who said that last night.
Good memory.
Yeah, and
I
then
remember.
Phil thought the music ruined the armor's noble moment because
Yeah.
it threw us
Right.
off too much.
Yeah, it was just
we were
weird.
like, what's
Yeah.
gonna happen? here?
Siouxsin misses Maul.
I know.
Man, I miss Maul.
He's dead.
Maul is awesome.
That
They
was
did.
pretty.
That is the one thing I didn't like about Rebels.
You didn't?
I did-
Didn't like it?
Didn't like-
did not like it.
But that moment, and
what
it
you
involved
want him to do with it?
heavily involved Ezra, and that's why I'm so
Mhm.
excited about Ezra because Ezra's like a through line here,
Right.
and he's so cool. But Anna said, I think it was important that she saw the other way because I think the Jedi fell because Yoda carried the same rules his whole life, and it kind of doomed the Jedi, and that
Yeah.
could happen to the Mandos.
That's a very good point. That's a very good. The
Yeah.
armor is. I'm hoping is smart enough. I'm hoping she's not double crossing her. I'm hoping that the armor is smart enough to realize that for all of them to come together, they have to move past their own like creeds. Like it's okay if they have their creed,
Yeah.
but it's also okay if this other doesn't follow exactly, and
Yeah.
we can still move in the same direction. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Olivia said the twin, Bo being like, but when she asked to take the helmet off was so cute.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it
"Oh,
was-
sure.
Because it was just like, where's this going?
Is this a
Like,
setup
what-
with the
are
ominous-
you trying to test me or
It
not?
seemed
Yeah.
legit besides the music.
Yeah.
I think Bo could hear the music.
Right.
she was like,
What is this
wait a-
place?
Is this
and,
just playing in my headphones?
and
Or is
Paz
this so
was like
ominous here?
had a gun to her back as she
Yeah.
was walking
Right.
in. He's like, you
Yeah.
need to
Like,
see
why
the
was
armor.
it just like those three? Like
Yeah.
right, Paz
that's what was kind
kinda-
of creepy about
Paz
it.
leading her down there and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
and
was a
where was
little-
Mando?
Mando's like, you're fine. You're fine. I trust him,
You're
man.
good.
Yeah.
It's like, where's my girlfriend at?
Oh,
I
They
mean,
were sitting close.
They
Speaking
were.
of,
Yeah.
a lot
yeah,
of people
the
said
chat.
that too.
Is the
People
chat
were-
blowing
yeah,
up?
it was,
People
it
were
was,
talking
it was,
about
it was
that.
way back.
Yeah,
way
but,
back.
but
It was-
last, yeah, but remember the season starts with the armor saving a life, said Phil. So the
Yeah, that's
armor
true.
saved the little foundling,
Did he?
which is
Did she
Paz's
actually,
son,
though?
which might be. Well, do you think they're together? We guess.
Do you think
I
that's
think
his
the armor
mother?
and Paz are kind of, but I don't know though.
I think the armor is just the mother of
Y'all just
all.
shipping
You know what I'm
everyone.
saying? She's
That's
like
weird.
That's really
The high
weird.
priest. I call her
the high priestess. That's
She's
a
like
good
the
way.
highest rank
Yeah.
of all of them for right now.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
she works on the forge.
Well, that was weird. She was like, "Do you respect my station?" And I was like, "What?"
Yeah, it's like, do you respect my station?
I was like, "I ruled Mandalore."
I will answer your
Chick?
question with a question.
You ain't got the dark saber.
Yeah.
She
Din
don't either.
does.
Yeah.
I was gonna say she
V
doesn't
stuff.
either.
V stuff said she has trust issues anyway. So
Yeah.
with dealing with armor,
Yeah,
I
but
don't know.
no. Going back to their relationship. Scroll back up.
It's a minute
working
up
on it.
there.
Because a few.
A lot of people are saying about how they're sitting close and all that.
right?
Yeah,
Just-
let's touch on it right now. Let's do it. They were.
No,
I wouldn't worry
let's
about
just move
finding it
forward.
again,
Let's move
but-
forward.
Okay,
If you guys got thoughts on Dinbo, we're going in Dinbo now. We're going in Bodin, Dinbo representing. Because
Dinbo for
what
the
did you
window.
think? We didn't quite get the passion. We heard there was some passion in this one. We got passion, but it wasn't the Dinbo passion we were looking for, or was it?
I mean, there was
I
a
don't
little
know.
bit. I don't think there was enough though.
They sat. I think the most they gave us was they were sitting close.
They were sitting
Right,
close.
they're-
Touching.
And then when
It's like a
Mando
middle
was
school relationship, everyone overanalyzes
That's right, and when Mando walked up to talk to Carson,
Yeah.
she came up. She's like, "Honey,
Yeah.
who's the guest?
Yeah.
Is he staying for dinner?
Is he staying for dinner? Do I need to make another place? You know?" Carson's like, "Sorry to bother you two. I know you were busy."
Eating
Oh,
dinner.
Yeah. She's
With
like,
the
"Honey,
fam.
it's your turn to change Yoda's baby
Grogu's
Yoda's diaper."
Grogu's diaper.
Right.
Sick of it.
Yeah. No, it was mostly just they were sitting next to each other
Yeah.
for that whole
That was, because
thought.
you notice everyone else, they weren't that close.
yeah. And then
At
those
the
two were
nose
like,
time.
Close.
There's
Don't ever get
something.
that close to me again. Stop.
Come here, Nick.
Nope. No. 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 Unclean.
Yeah,
Unclean.
Jane Doe on here. Hey, Jane. I think we saw her last week. Bodin, they were touching arms while sitting next to each other. I mean, they
Yeah.
were like if Mando could put his arm on her leg,
Yeah.
that's maybe too
It
fresh.
Whoa.
I'm just saying, you know.
That's a bold move right there.
It's a big, I'm just saying. It
All
looked
I'm
like they were all
If
over
that
each other.
happened, our suspicions would be confirmed.
Yeah.
All I'm imagining though is that scene from The Office when Toby does it to Pam, and like the room just goes silent, and they're all just looking at it, and he's like,
the most
"Yeah, I'm going to Costa Rica," and he just leaves and jumps over the fence.
It's like that bad.
Yeah,
That's awkward.
everybody's
Yeah.
like, "What?"
I don't think it would happen that way in this.
No, no, no.
But,
I think
that
they're
would be
saving it.
hilarious.
I think we're excited about it because we saw the writing on the wall
Yeah.
at the beginning of this when they were in the mines of Mandalore, and I think we saw that they're getting together.
And they worked as a really good team. I mean, she said even Bo
Yeah.
set them up good because they were both to the sky and they worked like seamlessly together. They took those pirates down like no problem.
Shing chong shing.
What in the world? Wow, Matt.
That's how they took them down. Those were the exact sound
She
effects.
completes him.
Yes.
Yeah, and they didn't think that the hand on the leg thing that they don't think she would stop him. You know what I'm saying? I think
Yeah, no, I think they got a
they're
relationship.
friendly.
going.
I don't
Yeah.
think it's like runaway, but maybe.
But
no,
will we see that by
Yeah.
the end of this
this
season?
See,
That's-
okay.
We got if
'Cause-
it's gonna
'cause she-
happen, we'll see something that
The Spider-Man upside down
continues
kiss.
it.
That's what
that seemed no, that's full far fetched.
Yeah.
Swing.
Helmets clanking.
Yeah. That's what they should just do.
Yeah.
Actually, that would be a pretty touching moment if like something bad was happening or whatever, and then they finally get back together and then they just touch helmets.
Yeah. And there's a little
That's more of a
electricity.
bro
It's like,
thing.
bzz.
No, I just mean like they just lean and they were like, "I know you, I see you."
Hey, let me
Girl.
have
No,
this.
you,
Let me
I
have
see
this.
you.
I don't know. You know,
Yeah.
Maybe at that point
But,
they'll have helmets
Matt,
off.
when you get a girlfriend, you'll understand these things.
you be touching helmets with your wife, Dustin?
No, and you just like you hug
why are you
or
wearing a
whatever,
helmet?
and you just nod your head together.
Okay, I see what
Come
you're
here,
saying.
let's-
it's
I see
Wally,
what you're saying
It's
now.
Wally and Eva.
I see
Yeah,
what
that's-
you're
Yeah,
saying.
Yeah.
kind of like that. You
I've
see,
been saying it
Full
since the
circle.
beginning.
yes.
Yep.
The
Thank
way you were saying it was just
Yeah.
You have
not
to
adding
experience it, I guess, to understand, Matt.
no. The way you were saying it was not adding up.
We
No,
can
because
pull
what
up
you were
that
thinking
meme.
of was
We got that
twins
meme on
headbutting
there,
each
right?
other. That's all you can
because
think
what
of.
I was thinking of was I can't remember what it is, but like I don't know. I can't think of what it's like a movie or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's in a movie. It's
Okay.
like you show respect and you like
Oh, yeah, you-
forehead to forehead type thing. That's what I imagined what
Like
you were
respect?
trying to say.
Oh, no.
Or not respect, like a knowledge I don't know.
Knowledge transfer?
Yeah.
You transfer data through your foreheads?
Here's
USB.
what
Here, take
I
this.
did.
My dude.
Okay. Yeah, but going to that, with the whole like She took her helmet off, and now she's gonna go round up all the other Mandalorians. Do you
Yeah.
think Din's gonna go?
That's a good
gonna
question.
go with her?
I was on the same track with you. Yeah.
Yeah,
I kind of hope.
I hope so too.
I think.
Otherwise, like, what are we gonna
Right.
watch?
But do you think he'll take off his helmet though?
I mean, maybe.
Will he
Technically-
be able to walk?
Technically, he has walked both paths.
But-
Technicality.
Oof. But he all the beginning half of the season was him.
Listen, if
No,
it's
I-
that easy for
Listen.
Bo-Katan
I'm not
to
against
become a
you
member of
here.
the Watch, it's that easy for Din to not become a member of the Watch
No, I mean obviously I get
and
that.
join her covert. I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah.
with this.
Well, they could both
you know what I'm saying, people, right?
unless she's gonna be the one who can walk both paths, but Din has to stay with the Watch
Maybe-
for now to kind of be like,
Yeah,
you know, to
and
join
maybe
them
it's
again.
because she was the only one that saw the mythosaur.
yeah,
Maybe
could be
you
that.
have to see the mythosaur to do that.
Yeah,
That is
possibly.
the key to success.
Well, and they're definitely setting up now Bo as the one who's the only one who can unite Mandalore.
Right. With
Which-
the Mythosaur. Mythosaur?
The Mystosaur?
The mythosaur?
Mythosaur?
With the help of the armor, she jumped right over Din. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's like,
Oh.
you're gonna be the one to unite
Right.
Mandalore. Like, this is our question, right? It's Bo and Din together. Really, Bo did need Din to get her where she is now.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
With this sect and the armor, but armor noticed you're one who lives in both worlds.
Yeah.
And you're the one to take us,
All.
unite all of
Not
Mandalore.
just the Watch.
You are the royalty, but Bo needs Din. Does she need Din? She needs Din, right? To do this? Grogu? Or do they need her? Does everybody in
I
Mandalore
think
just
they
need
all
her?
need each other.
They all need each other.
They
Yeah.
we
need
need each other.
Remember that
all in
song?
this together.
Speaking of which,
each other.
you
Yeah,
guys
that's
got to
the
see
song.
this awesome graphic here that Dustin sent in yesterday that we found on the interwebs.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
This is what you're talking
I
about.
wish I
This
could give
is-
credit to
this
the
is what you're
person
talking
that
about.
did this.
Yeah, we don't know who
painted
drew
this,
it.
but like that, man, it's kind of sweet.
It's-
Yeah.
I love how Jar Jar's eyes
That-
just like
Let's move Jar Jar away.
That I
glowed.
yeah,
get.
that's a little
Yeah.
creepy.
right.
That
Yeah.
that's pretty. That's just what it's all about right now. That's the vibes we're getting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of more what I'm talking about. You know, it's kind of a sign of respect, like you're saying, Matt.
No,
but it's-
that what I'm thinking is completely different.
Oh.
I understand what you're thinking.
Then
now.
explain
Oh,
it better
okay.
next time.
This is not what I was thinking when
This
you were
is the
explaining
way.
it. Then after you
you were thinking headbutting.
finished explaining it, I understood what you were saying.
Oh,
Yeah.
your mind was altered to a state
So they-
agreeable to mine.
They all
Yeah.
need each other, though, right?
Yep.
I mean that this is
Absolutely.
this is the way.
This is the way.
But the thing I didn't love though is that they kind of sidelined Din in some ways. in
Yeah,
this.
no, that's what I'm
I didn't.
saying.
I don't hate that. I get that Bo is kind of the rightful ruler in some ways, but she also doesn't have the darksaber, and we haven't even touched on the darksaber.
I
For,
want him to
like-
train with.
I
it,
have-
man.
Right.
I have, like the short. I have wondered if in that talk he was going to be like, "Look, guys, that was almost his time to be like,
Yeah.
this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm
We're
the leader,
going-
Mandalore. I make
Check
the
it out.
rules.
I got this thing here, and you guys are going to follow behind me." I thought it was almost they were going to take him up a notch as the leader. You know, like not commanding them where to go, but you know what I'm saying?
Like,
Hey, look,
especially
yeah.
if Paz was actually going to like be turn
Back
him
up. Yep.
to not. If Paz wouldn't have taken that twist, then I think he could have used that card. He could have used like, I have the darksaber, I am the rightful ruler of Mandalore, and this is what we're gonna do.
Take
I
your
just
helmets
don't
off.
think Din wants to be. He's
To
like the
lead,
kind
right.
of guy that
Yeah.
just wants to get things done.
Did
you
you
don't
see-
want to tell people what to do.
Hannah Roll said Din wants to be sidelined.
I wouldn't want
Yeah.
to be a leader
Yeah,
of
he's-
like that
yeah.
big of a thing. Like I don't know. I'd rather do the work and not lead or tell people what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of
They
how
have
he
their
is in some
strengths.
ways.
That's
So I
what
can
I'm saying.
understand that. Like he's just a simple man finding his way in the galaxy.
He's a
I
simple
get that.
dad. finding his
Well, and
way
that's
through
why
the
he's-
galaxy.
Because when you're a leader, you got to deal with all these people. I don't want to be telling people what to do. I just
Right.
want to do it myself.
That's Grief's job. Let Grief do that.
I just want to question everything they say whenever they tell me to do something. No, I'm just joking. No. Go ahead. Fact checker. You have something?
I was just going to say sometimes the best leaders are the ones that don't necessarily want to lead because they do get so much stuff done.
Yeah.
And
They have good ideas.
in that
Yeah.
sense, yeah.
And the fact that he hasn't used the darksaber to just like declare himself the leader is more respectful in a lot of ways. Like he's
Yeah.
actually trying to lead by example and not just, he wants people to follow, or they want people to follow because it's the right thing to do.
Like,
Not-
It's the
not-
type of thing like you work for a person. You don't want to work for a person that doesn't work comparatively to a person that actually does the job with you.
Right.
I've done those jobs.
It's
I like
There's two
working for a
types of people.
person that works with you and
Yeah.
teaches you and does that stuff compared to a person that sits sideline and tells you what
You
to
want
do.
somebody to be an equal, not
Right.
like they're higher than you.
yeah. The difference
We-
is
yeah,
the difference
get that.
there is one's a boss and one's a leader.
Yeah.
And the
Exactly.
boss is the one that tells you what to do, doesn't
The
help
leader
you with
shows
it,
you
but
how
the
to do it.
leader will show you and will help you get there.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing, the big difference there.
There's some great points in the thing. Phil
Let's hit 'em.
Jr.
The thing.
said, keep in mind the armor said unite, not rule.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
That's
And Olivia agreed. I would never want to be the leader of the whole civilization trying to rebuild. I'll just sit over there and be like the water girl.
The water girl. You want some water?
well, I want to play.
Here you go.
Yeah, but
Here's
they
a
all
straw.
have their own strengths. KG said, good point, Phil.
Yeah.
Silas, like I said, Mando has been Jon Snowed.
Yeah, kind of.
But
Kinda,
I don't
sorta.
know. I think he's got his strengths, right? He's worried about Grogu. He knew that Bo needed this group, so he's putting that together. He's got the respect of Paz
Mhm.
through and through. That took a while to get.
Yeah.
Paz is like telling that, hey, we'll follow whatever you say, Din. We're going for it.
Yeah.
And then the armor is
Mandalorians.
seeing. I think the mythosaur thing really affected her.
Yeah.
The armor
With
yeah.
Bo. She's
for
like,
sure.
I've never heard of this. It was a legend. It's real now. You are the one, therefore, to.
Yeah. What'd she say? We're going into a new,
A new age.
age.
Yeah, for the Mandalorian.
So where's that written down?
Well, they talked about it previously. It was
Yeah.
like a song, like an old song or something. Chat, help us out.
Chad, help us
Jagger.
out. Come on.
But it was like basically a prophecy.
Yeah.
That once
Okay.
the mythosaur rises again or something like that,
Yeah.
it will set the precedence for a new age for the Mandalorians.
Yeah.
So
I'm
it's
just
been set
saying,
out there.
just dream with me here. So they go back to
Close my
Mandalore
eyes.
with Bo and Din, right? At some point, somebody rides a mythosaur with Din and Bo. All the other Mandalorians show up on the planet, right? And then they raise the Darksaber, and it's the three of them standing at the peak of the mountain, just like the Lion King
Yeah.
and the whole kingdom underneath them.
And they
The-
kill the mythosaur.
and they kill the mythosaur.
Oh, wow.
I mean, there could be some feels in
They
there,
feast for months.
It's building slowly, and I don't mind that
Yeah.
they're taking their time,
hmm
like they kind of did in Andor with certain plots and certain things fell a little flat. But the way the story has time to breathe, I appreciate that,
Yeah.
and I know that when Filoni shows up to write this stuff, he's thinking way farther than all of us are thinking. you know?
Yeah.
Or-
Or they're trying to tie in like Ahsoka and all that stuff. too.
Honestly, I think he's already completed the series.
Yeah.
well,
he's-
not Filoni. It's Favreau really the one who's writing this
Yeah.
series.
I think
and
maybe they've already completed the storyline that they're gonna set out to do.
Well, they got.
possibly-
Yeah.
He said season 4 was written, and
Yeah.
then they
Yep.
said that he was. But he said he's had to think of Ahsoka. He mentioned how Filoni is writing. There's the showrunner for Ahsoka, but Favreau's producing it. But I
Yeah.
think
So it's like a
Favreau's
swap.
Favreau's the showrunner for this one, and
Yeah.
Filoni's producing and co-writing. And so it's interesting because he was talking like this is kind of the cinematic universe. He has to know, and then he said
Yeah.
he mentioned Skeleton Crew. It's the same time period, so things
Yeah.
that can cross over
Mhm.
and how that all plays in. And that's why I think Zeb showing up is
that's a cool-
pretty
Yeah.
cool
It
because
is. Yeah.
that's a nod for Ahsoka, and that tells us what we're going to get in Ahsoka, which just makes sense.
Which makes me think, well, we know that Fen Rao is going to show up. That's actually been spoiled out there.
Yeah.
But do you think that just makes me think even more that we're going to see Sabine
Sabine Wren.
Wren here soon?
I think so.
yeah.
I think more and more that Sabine is going to show up.
Maybe she's the one who got Moff Gideon out
Why would she be the one?
to serve
To kill him.
judgment.
She killed him?
No,
Yeah.
you know,
or
who-
she
you
got
know-
him. Oh, I wonder if she got him to find out where Thrawn is.
Yeah.
That would be a big.
That could make
could see
sense.
that.
You know who got him?
Who?
Fen Rao,
Fen Rao.
Really?
probably.
But
And-
Finn
and
Rao was
you know who's
working
with-
the New Republic. He joined the.
Okay.
Sorry, keep going.
What if it's Fen Rao, and what if her dad are together?
Fen Rao and
Bo-Katan's dad.
Bo-Katan's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not actually dead.
I
Right.
don't know.
I
Nobody's
think
dead.
he's
actually died.
I think he's dead.
He didn't actually die. That's what I meant to say.
Why would he hide? What would be the point of him hiding
I don't
himself
know.
for?
Maybe he turned into the
decades.
mythosaur, like we said.
Betrayal.
Maybe he
There's
he
always
lives
a
on in the mythosaur.
in the mythosaur.
He
No.
is
the
mythosaur.
What happened was he ate some of the purgle.
Yeah. Ooh.
With the
that
space sauce?
hyperspace sauce.
He become a space whale, and he's guiding. What's his name? Ezra.
Yeah.
Ezra.
He's like Thrawn's over here.
What is this like? What's crap? What's the show with the little fish? Finding Nemo.
Finding
What's the show with the little fish?
I'm thinking the
How many you got?
Finding Dory.
Finding Dory.
no,
how
that's
Dory
not
does the
right.
whale sounds. That's
Yeah.
all I was thinking. They're doing it. But Moff
Everybody do it in
Gideon
chat.
clearly, Moff Gideon clearly is alive.
Yeah.
Elia
Definitely.
Kane, our favorite character, is
Yeah.
clearly still in cahoots with Moff Gideon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's trying to throw Carson off the trail or whatever that whole situation was.
Yeah.
And then, but we know Moff Gideon's coming back, but Carson's on to something.
Yeah.
I like the suspense of the end of that
Yeah.
scene, too.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that they were analyzing and I quickly realized that it was Mandalorian bullets or pieces.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that, but keep going.
It was kind of like a horror scene in some ways.
It was.
I thought he was gonna get.
yeah,
we
killed.
were on the edge of our seats.
Yeah.
Because we came back
The
from
music, man. The
the
music.
music. We were like at the end of the armor sequence. We were like, okay, I guess it's good. We're good.
Right. Yeah. Dodged
All
a
right,
bullet
Bo's
there.
now uniting Mandalore, thinking,
Yeah.
and now we're on the edge of our seats again because Carson's going into this creepy thing. It was
Right.
like the Jaws scene
Yeah.
where
We're
what's his
gonna
name?
need a bigger ship.
Well, where he goes down to
the
you know.
Chimera shows up,
Yeah.
Thrawn's ship.
It felt like
no.
Jaws. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? Where the guy goes down to look for that.
yeah, and it
boat
just shows
wreckage,
up, and
and
it's
that
like,
face is like,
You
body.
guys
Yeah.
were saying something about the lights or something.
Yeah, it
Like you were
looked
saying
like at one
something?
point that there was like lights shining on his ship. in
Yeah,
his
behind
cockpit,
him, yeah.
behind him,
yeah,
and he wasn't paying attention to it because he was so focused on like looking in the ship.
right.
Right.
Thought he
That's
was
what
gonna
we
get
thought.
blasted.
But
That would have been cool if as the show cut, you heard like blaster or like,
Right, and just
oh no, I'm under attack.
Oh, no.
And it cuts, and
yeah,
Thrawn picks him
or
up
like he narrowly gets away, but he's like injured and gets back to like Zeb or whatever, and he's able to tell them like Thrawn's here, before he passes
Yeah.
out, type thing, or it's like there's a big bad out there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or Moff Gideon's back. That would have been interesting too.
But
Right.
so we got two things that we asked for. Well, we thought Navarro
Yep.
Yep,
Tomorrow.
and a bigger bad
yeah,
in this season. In
our
this episode.
predictions came true. For
We
the
were
most
feeling
part.
it. We called it a week early, but they came this week.
Oh yeah, we said that. We did say that. last
Nobody
week.
caught Ahmed Best coming,
No,
Right.
that was
Exactly.
out of left field.
yeah, I don't know.
out of nowhere.
but we didn't. We were wondering when the big bad would show up, whether it be Moff Gideon. Of course, it's Moff Gideon, and then now it's Zeb. Yeah, that's cool.
I didn't understand I think they're trying to set up the Mandalorians to be painted bad with the whole armor wedged into the wall
Yeah.
situation, which was kind of weird because it's like, how did that even break off to get wedged in there? I mean, Beskar is pretty
Right.
strong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What's breaking off?
So
and
what-
like that?
So
It'd have
it
to be
seems
like a full
intentional.
piece, you'd think if something fell off or something.
It
Yeah.
seems intentional for the most part that they did that. And the other speculation we had was maybe it's that other group of Mandalorians that Bo's Mandalorians that went off and they were becoming what they call them? Mercenaries. They went off to be mercenaries, so they could
Yeah.
have been hired by the Empire to go rescue
Yeah.
I
I could see it.
Moff Gideon, and then something happened. They left some Beskar there, so they're going to blame the wrong Mandalorians because
That
that's
could have
the
been
only
framed,
Mandalorians
yeah.
They
Yeah.
know, or to try and frame them. If it's a Thrawn move, Thrawn could be trying to set them up to fight each other and get rid of each other, which would be a very Thrawn move to do. Get rid of
Right, 'cause he
have
can't-
your enemies get rid of each other, and then
Right.
you just come in and clean out the rest.
Because having all the Mandalorians united ain't good for them.
No,
That's
it's
terrible.
not good for business.
Unless you can convince them to be on his side.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the
what I'm
only other
wondering.
thing.
Are there Mandalorians that are out there that are already teamed up with Thrawn or
Yeah, that's
Moff
definitely a
Gideon?
possibility.
They
You
just
know.
pay him in Beskar and
Well,
'Cause
and if
they're good.
Moff Gideon had the dark
He
saber,
did,
and
yeah.
so he might already have a group. Fenrau, although he's good now, we think.
Yeah.
I liked Olivia Roll. One of them said, "I'm sorry, yeah, Thrawn, my love. I'm not sorry, I love Thrawn."
yeah,
Right.
no, Thrawn.
Thrawn's great.
They better introduce Thrawn
Yeah.
at the end of this.
Not in love with him, but
Yeah.
he's pretty
JQ,
cool.
Bo
Part of
was-
the Blue Man Group.
He could be. He's the fourth member.
He's the fourth member of the Blue Man
He's
Group.
the fourth member. Oh, that is perfect. You crack me up, Nick.
I cracked myself up.
Let's hug it out.
Don't touch me. You're just being really
Filthy
weird today.
animal.
Ah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
man.
He's
Somebody
off
knows
the
how to
ranch.
take me today.
You're on an emotional roller coaster,
Yeah.
and we don't know what's happening.
No,
It's highs and lows.
And we're
I'm
blindfolded.
not even that great. Like, okay, whatever.
Dustin,
Okay, whatever.
you're like Wrecker. You're only allowed to do one thing.
Yeah.
Stay ultimately positive all the time.
And awkwardly laugh in dumb situations. Yep, like that. There you go.
That hurt.
I love to laugh.
Oh my goodness.
And that ref,
Anyway.
please stop.
I did.
I did.
I did.
Now let me rant for 2 hours.
Okay,
No, I'm not gonna
go
do that.
ahead.
No, yeah. So that was an interesting ending where we left off. I think Moff
Yeah.
Gideon is happening. Did you have something you were gonna say, Danny?
Danny.
You just skip over the fact
No,
checker.
no.
She's
Oh,
clearly
fact
wanting
checker.
to
Oh,
speak.
sorry.
I'm just
She's clearly
enjoying.
wanting to speak, and you called Dan out.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm
Go
used to
ahead.
it.
Go ahead.
Go
Sorry.
No, I'm just gonna shout out to Phil. He said, and see what you guys think. Phil said, I think Axe and Casca saved Gideon. Could that be?
Casca. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
That was those were the two that I was
They
kinda
were,
talking
yeah.
about for that used to be with Bo.
yeah.
Yeah, they were mercenaries, so they were just guns for hire, which would
Oh.
make sense.
Yeah.
So it would make sense that or somebody from the Empire, maybe Thrawn, hired them to go rescue Gideon before he made it to his tribunal or whatever. That would make sense. Also, to intercept them in the middle of space, they probably would have had to have a interdictor cruiser, which Thrawn would potentially have at this
He would
point.
have the capability. At
Yeah,
least.
because the interdictor cruisers were introduced in Rebels, which was also
Yeah.
when Thrawn was about.
Ooh, that's a
And
great
they
call.
rip ships out of hyperspace.
That changed the universe.
Yeah.
when that happens.
yeah, so that's a big deal right there.
You also had a theory presented by JQ. He said, with Moff Gideon saved by other Mandalorian, he looks exactly like Darth Vader. In episode 6, Bo travels to the other Mandalorians and as a messenger might pull an Empire Strikes Back.
Wait,
Wait, what?
I got confused in the middle
Yeah.
of that.
So he looks like Darth Vader.
Who does?
Moff
Moff
Gideon.
Gideon.
Oh,
yeah.
Moff Gideon, because he's got
Sorry.
the cape and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
I see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And then Bo travels and as a messenger.
Oh, like yeah. She finds him and
Oh, but
yeah.
then what? I don't understand the Empire Strikes Back part of it. Like, would so she goes to fight him, but then loses horribly because she doesn't have her friends with her
Yeah,
or
it's like,
something
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
that. She goes to save her friends, but then they betray her or something like that. I could
Just
see
a
that.
theory. Just a theory.
That's a good. No, it's a good theory.
It is a good theory.
Or she goes to try and reunite, but instead they're already
Yeah.
aligned with,
With
Moff
Gideon,
Gideon.
yeah.
That's probably more what it
Yeah,
is.
that's what he meant.
That would make
We
sense.
gotcha, we gotcha, we
yeah,
gotcha.
Sorry, we're picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
We got a new one in the chat here. Secret Songs 20 has been talking. If Bo tames the Mythosaur, that will unite all Mandalorians, regardless of Thrawn's manipulations.
Yeah.
You'd think so.
Unless
I mean-
they're not true Mandalorians and they just want to follow
Right.
Gideon or
Right.
Thrawn.
Well, and that's why some of them always just follow whoever's in power.
Yeah.
Some Mandalorian
Who
That's
has the
kind of
dark saber,
flaw. Yeah,
you
or the
know?
dark
That's-
saber.
Yeah.
But really, the Mythosaur is like such an ancient one. It seems like they would have to. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
And the dark saber, and that's why I feel like it's gonna take both, not just one or the other. I don't feel like the Mythosaur can trump the. I guess that's the only thing that could trump the
Right.
dark saber.
Right.
But then you'd be conflicted though if somebody else is like, well, I have the dark saber though, and we follow that for
Well,
hundreds of years.
That's why
Right.
they do like couples only.
Couples only.
One was the Mythosaur, one has the Darksaber. Now you're not in
Rule-
question.
The rule of two.
But I guess not everybody followed the dark saber. I mean, even
Right, they
Clone
split
Wars,
up. They
They
split
were
up.
the pacifists. It was only the Death Watch. So
Right.
Yep.
just
On the
depends.
moon.
So she can unite them both. And
Secret
Din.
Songs 20 had another one earlier. This might
Okay.
be too dark. What if Bo gets killed the same way her sister Satine was killed in front of her lover, and Din
Ooh.
kisses her before she dies, like Obi-Wan kisses Satine?
It could mean that they have a
hurt
kid
me.
together.
And then in the comments, people were
like
saying,
Corky.
Yeah.
people were saying in the comments, imagine
Porky. We'll name him Porky.
imagine Bo seeing Din's face for the first time. You know,
Yeah, because
that's going to be a good review.
that'd be.
She's
well,
only seen the back of his head.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
right.
You saw that luscious hair.
It was the end of season 2.
Luscious. Look at those luscious locks.
True.
She's like,
true.
What's the front side look like?
Wow. Okay.
That got weird.
Yeah, maybe not.
What else we got in the chat?
maybe
We're
not.
kind of so we've kind of done pretty much most of our
Spoilers.
spoiler section. We're just kind of getting to your comments now. So
Yeah.
if you guys have any questions in the spoiler section of Mando before we move on to Bad Batch,
Let's do it.
get them in now.
Yeah.
We're gonna touch on all your comments. So thank you for being here in the comment section. We appreciate every single one of you. At least I do. Nick doesn't. Matt's on the fence. Dan and
I've been enjoying reading all the comments.
Yeah,
I've been
right.
listening to you
Comments are
guys.
all right.
he's like, I enjoy the comments more than hearing you guys.
Yeah,
We're actually
Idiots.
just me and him are just reading the comments.
Yeah.
We're like, oh yeah.
I glance over at
Right.
him.
Dustin's
looking at
over
him.
here
Dustin's
talking
going
about
off.
stuff I don't even know what he's talking
Yeah.
about.
I'm just upset.
It's like, huh? Oh yeah, we're still on Star Wars. Okay. Yeah.
It's on the Star Wars show.
Yeah. We're still on the Star Wars show.
We're still on the Star Wars show. All right. We got some comments. Let's get to these comments, homies.
All right.
Yeah,
People mentioned Boba coming back.
That's what I was going to say.
Boba.
Oh yeah, I'd be all right with that.
If Boba comes back, Fennec better be back.
Yeah, because he's.
I don't
solid
care
in
about
Mando
Fennec as
like
much,
that.
to be honest with you.
Okay.
I like Boba. Fennec's all right. They make kind of a power
Honestly?
couple. They're in their own right, but
I'm looking for.
but don't make Fennec do all the work.
Yeah.
Like
right.
make Boba do some awesome stuff, like he
Yeah.
did actually in season 2.
yeah.
Make him epic again.
Yeah, they have to redeem Boba at this point. They
He's kinda
destroyed
just like a
Boba in
burnt
his own
marshmallow.
show.
Yep. Hannah
Even
wrote.
Tamora Morrison was like, "This is not what I would do at all." Like he
No.
was like outspoken.
I'm talking
was
way
a-
too much.
It was a Luke Skywalker, like how
yeah.
Mark Hamill was
He's
saying
like, "That's
that
not
the
my
sequel
Luke."
trilogy was
Yeah.
terrible.
Mhm.
He was like just holding it in, like, but he would let it slip every once in a while. Like, that's not my Luke. He even said that.
That's not my Luke.
I don't know.
That's
I
not
don't
Luke.
accept
That's-
him.
That's what Tamora Morrison had to go through.
Yeah.
He and Mark Hamill went through some stuff. Right? Just
And
saying.
you think about Obi-Wan. I'm not sure how he feels about that, but never mind. Let's not mention that.
Yeah, let's not go.
Olivia said Corky is totally the son of Satine and Obi-Wan, and
Yeah,
nobody
absolutely.
can change my
Ain't
mind.
nobody changing it,
Yeah.
and we aren't gonna try changing it for you.
It'd be
all
awesome
right?
if Corky showed up at some point.
right.
That would be a deep cut, but it would be a welcome one.
Right.
How old
welcome
is
one, pretty sure.
Hera and Kanan's son?
At this point,
You know, he's old enough to be
Uh,
a man, right?
I don't
think
know.
he's like a
Actually,
young
so
kid.
This ain't this far after
Well, 'cause
that.
At the end of Rebels, it
He was
was
a kid.
after.
Because she was only pregnant, wasn't she?
No,
No.
she had him. He
No,
was flying or,
he
or
was-
sitting there.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
flying with her.
Is it on the
Oh
timeline?
yeah, I remember that now.
Is it on the timeline?
Yeah. Right. Write it on the timeline,
Let's
Dan.
consult the timeline.
Consult the timeline.
He can't be. I mean, how long is after this?
I'd say he's like maybe a teenager.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say
maybe
max
maybe
a
like
teen.
young teens. I
Yeah.
would say
Where's the
young
timeline?
teens.
13,
because like
14.
at the end they showed him, but he
Yeah.
was only
Oh,
like
yeah.
what would you guess?
He was
Like
only, like,
8,
There we go.
Yeah.
10,
I forgot that's how we
maybe.
forgot.
Maybe.
And if that was at the very end of Return of the Jedi, but they didn't confirm that, we're
Yeah.
not sure. If this is 5 years after, then that would make him a teenager, I guess.
Yeah.
Or 6 or 7 if the
Mhm,
2-year
mhm,
gap in between. I don't even know.
Yeah.
They haven't confirmed the timeline. That's
Yeah.
kind of the
Well, and also you got to think how long have Ahsoka and Sabine been looking
been
for
looking
Ezra?
yeah.
You know. Nobody
Since- I
knows.
think it was since the end of Return of the Jedi. I think
Yeah,
it was
so
right
5
after
years,
Return
6
of the
years?
Jedi. Yeah.
8 years.
Well, it depends because I've heard
7
that
years.
Dave Filoni or John Favreau said there was a 2 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Training,
saying. I'm putting
but
that into
I heard
account.
somewhere else that he meant that it was 2 years since since the show's been out.
What do you mean?
Like I think he retracted that statement because people said that he said it was 2 years
Oh,
that
training.
that he was training.
Oh.
Grogu was training with Luke.
Oh, okay.
But he said
you're saying-
Favreau said it
yeah,
was actually
okay.
just 2 years since we've seen the show.
Yeah. See, when Favreau said that in that interview, Filoni kind of was like, ugh.
right.
Like you could see Filoni. You know when somebody says something, and whenever he would do interviews with the cast,
Yeah.
and they would start saying stuff, and he'd be like,
He gets uncomfortable.
He'd be like, "Hey."
And there was a couple of uncomfortable moments for
Yeah.
Filoni in that where he's like, "That's enough,"
Yeah, yeah,
and that may have been one of them.
yeah. So that's unclear still. I don't
It's-
think it's been
yeah.
confirmed one way or another if it's 2-year gap or not.
Right.
Molly Taylor, I'm very sure Din will loosen up helmets eventually, but to the degree which he will is still an open question.
Yeah.
Follow up, honestly, I'd be okay with Din remaining masked in daily life and only taking it off at home with his son and wife.
Yeah.
Like
There
that
you go.
rhymed.
Right?
We can make a song out of that.
You did?
The sun in.
There they are.
Oh, there they are.
After a long day.
Adorable.
Dinbo.
Dinbo.
Bowden.
I mean, that's, they're putting in some work,
Yeah.
flying around, taking out pirates all day.
They
What
don't
was
have time to
Grogu
do
doing?
this.
I mean, that's a lot of
What's
stress.
Grogu doing?
Where's my parents? I'm hungry.
I need food.
It's past my dinner time.
Paz is like, eat your food.
Eat your food, kid.
Yeah, who babysits? I mean, they're gonna have to land
They're
on.
gonna have to get IG-11 to be the baby.
yeah.
I was
what
thinking
they
he'd
call it?
come
The
back.
nursery droid.
Yeah. The
I was
nursery
thinking he was
droid,
going to
yeah.
come back.
Yeah, what's
Yeah,
the bait and
'Cause-
switch with
and they even
IG-11?
showed them, like, when the
pirates?
dropped down dead right in front of them. They showed the people fixing them.
Yeah, those little dudes.
So I
What are
thought
those called
maybe he
again?
was going to be
I don't know,
fixed
man.
and pop out and do some ninja stuff.
That would have been
the
cool.
Babu Fricks.
Yeah.
The Babu
But
Fricks
he's
of the
got the. Doesn't
galaxy.
Mando have the rest of the parts with him?
No.
Or
You
they
get
all-
onto
got 'em.
those.
That's
Oh,
the thing.
oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
You
kind
get-
of an unanswered question. They'll probably bring it back towards the end. Like
Yeah.
they're gonna need him to do something with them, or
Yeah.
to watch Grogu. Or
Well,
something.
what
Or
part
make
is
a-
it that they need? There's some rare part.
It's like a memory chip. I think
Maybe
they need a new
Carson can
memory chip.
find it with the New Republic, or maybe the Requisitioner can find it,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
somebody.
I don't know. That's
Maybe.
kind of a weird
out
trail that like hasn't been resolved.
Yeah.
Right.
It was like, yeah, we're going to go down this. Never mind. We're not going down that way.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, retract.
By the way, people
Yeah.
seem to be really enjoying
Yeah.
this here.
Oh, good.
it's-
It's really good. I
yeah.
wish I could give credit to who did that.
Well, we'll find it and we'll give
Well,
them
there's a
credit.
name.
Yeah, there
What's
is.
that say?
Oh, is there?
Right by her hip.
Ethiel.
Ethniel?
I don't know.
Ethniel?
Ethniel.
Well, credit to that person.
credit to you.
Good job.
Credit to you.
Good drawing.
Zooming
That's
in.
really good. It's even got the Mandalorian
Yep.
or
Oh,
the
there you go.
Mythosaur.
Ethniel.
It's like
Ethniel.
Daniel. No, it's not.
It's like Nathaniel, but it's
It's kind of not.
I don't know what
we
I
got
was
the
looking
Mythosaur
at.
armor. Grogu's happy.
Oh my
Yeah, I like how
gosh.
it's even got the Mythosaur pauldron.
Yeah,
That's
But that
recent.
is the head
Yeah, it's cool.
touch.
that is the head.
I think
It's
that-
emotion. It's happy. It's
Yeah.
sad. It's.
I know what
touching.
you're talking
Yeah.
about now.
Yeah,
He
it's.
gets it.
I
And
think
with
we're going to see that by the end of the season.
I
be
mean,
dope.
something's got to happen to bring them together. That's the
Yeah.
Mythosaur. That's going to be a stressful time. They're going to have to come together because when Thrawn shows up in Ahsoka, they gotta get some work done. They gotta have their act together.
Yeah, they
'Cause-
need they're gonna need all the Mandalorians.
Moff Gideon is small potatoes until Thrawn shows up.
And then Thrawn will kill him because he's be like, "You failed me yet again,
Yep.
Starscream."
What?
Oh, man, Transformers.
I know, but
Starscream.
Get on my level.
I know it was just funny. It was just a good
I just
call.
rewatched like all those movies.
Oh wait,
That's
And
a
I
cool
gotta
story.
say, the original ones are the best ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thrawn's gonna have to take out some folks, though. I mean, to
Yeah.
make him intimidating, he's gonna have to do some damage. We're gonna have to be okay with like people getting deaded. I mean, not okay. It's gonna suck. But to make him an actual like villain worth, them all uniting against,
Yeah.
like, what's his face? It's gonna have to be
Who's
the
his
big
face?
bad from Marvel,
Oh, Thanos. Yeah.
Thanos. He's gonna
Well,
have
obviously,
to be like
that's what they're-
Thanos.
You already said that's where they're going.
I know. I'm just
Making
saying it
a
again because I like
Star
Thrawn.
Wars Marvel movie.
They should
I
really.
like Thrawn.
They really should just do the Thrawn trilogy, but I don't think they're going to do that with how they're setting this up because there
Yeah.
weren't very many Mandalorians in the Thrawn trilogy at all.
Right. They're doing their own thing.
Which
Maybe.
is not.
It's kind of concerning, yeah. It's like
It's okay. I like that they're still bringing in Thrawn, but if they were really smart, they would just do the Thrawn because it's already got a built-in fan base.
Yeah.
It's an excellent story. You can
Yeah.
recast the original trilogy characters. I still think if you do it well,
you gotta
Yep.
be
it would
careful.
be amazing.
Yeah, but you can
Unless
do it.
they're trying to save that for like an actual movie sequence. Like if they did like an actual movie three trilogy movie.
Three trilogy movie.
I think
Yeah,
that'd be
what am I
cool
trying to say?
though.
That would be awesome, and they would. That's how you win back Star Wars fans, and that's how you get Star Wars back to a evergreen property. Because right now
Yep.
it is not.
Absolutely. Back to tanks.
Back to
Star Wars
tanks.
needs a little back to tank.
Definitely does. We got any more comments?
Yeah, so JQ had more to his theory. He said, or
Jimmy, my boy.
Jimmy.
Not Jimmy.
I don't know. If
Well, I don't know.
Jimbo.
Jimbo. Oh yeah, Jimbo.
my boy.
all right, it says Bo will see Gideon and pull. We will be honored if you join us.
Yeah.
Bo gets taken and tortured like Han Solo and has her
Yeah.
armor destroyed.
Ooh,
Din will
wow.
save her and she'll have her armor go full silver. There's been a lot of talk
Oh.
about full silver in the chat too
Yeah.
for her.
Yeah.
I'd like
That's
it.
what he was talking about with the pull Empire Strikes Back earlier.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I like that. That's
I
a
think
good
just
idea.
The plain
That's kind of the
silver
Empire
armor is
Strikes Back
amazing.
thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
I like that. So next episode she gets captured, and then the second arc he's gonna have
He's
to
gotta
show
be like,
up, but they're still
"I'm
gonna
your
have to like
hero."
lose in some way. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah,
Something
there's the
bad's still gonna
stakes have
to
got to
happen to all
go
of them.
up. Yeah.
And then they're
Yeah.
gonna have to regroup for the very last episode and make it the epic finale that we
Yeah.
all need and want.
And they take back Mandalorian.
But then at the very end, the end credits, Thrawn walks out and he's like, "They've played perfectly into my hands. These rebel
my
scum.
blue man hands.
Blue man drumming hands."
It all goes
Any other
back
comments?
to Blue
Because I
Men.
think we're gonna have to move on here
Yeah.
shortly. So if you got your comments, get them in now. Otherwise, we're gonna be moving on to the Bad Batch, baby, season
Yeah.
finale.
Yeah, no, there's people. A lot of the people in the chat are freaking out if
If Thrawn shows up.
Thrawn
In a
shows up
movie and,
mentally. He just is going to destroy them. They love the idea of the movie. It would be an amazing film.
I would love that.
It would be.
couple
trilogy
people
to
are
the triple
talking crap
power.
about the sequels.
Yep. They're,
Uh,
they're good people.
If I was a billionaire, I would make that movie. Like, I would just buy Disney for one. Not Disney. I'd buy Lucasfilm from Disney since it's not an evergreen property anymore. I would resurrect
He
it
knows it
with
all.
the Thrawn trilogy, and I would put my own money into it because I just want to see that in real life.
You
want
want to see it happen.
I want to see it happen that bad.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
rant
yeah.
over.
They didn't like the sequel trilogy. They'd rather see the Thrawn version.
100%. Man.
You know, you could recast and.
biggest
and go that way.
mistake they didn't go that route.
Do you guys think that Sabine's going to upstage Bo Katan though when she shows up? Because like
Well,
if
they're
Bo,
friends. They're
Yeah,
friends.
I
They're
know
friends.
they're
chill.
friends. She handed off the Darksaber.
Right.
Bo lost it, and now she's trying to
Dumbo.
redeem herself. And Dinbo, you know, is gonna help her get it back.
Help her get it.
Somebody
Help
help
her get
me, help me get it back because I'm
Oh,
stumbling over
BJ
my
over
own.
here.
Oh,
There's one
man.
thing you can count on. It's calling out all of our flaws.
We have many
We
of
are
them.
so humble here. We make fun of
Yes.
ourselves before you
Yeah.
can.
We do.
So we don't make
Self-
fun of anybody out there that goofs because we're
We
we're
goof all
way
the
better
time.
at it.
Self-deprecating humor.
But
Yeah,
we haven't
that's a
seen
good
any
question, though. I
force
don't-
powers by Grogu lately.
No,
Yeah, no, we haven't.
they're gonna pull that out in the
Not
last like
since
2
the
episodes. I
Second
think.
episode.
With the mythosaur.
With the mythosaur.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the myth. He's gonna have to help tame the mythosaur for
Man.
them to ride.
Mhm.
It's
guys
gonna
re-
be a whole group effort.
There are so many threads running in this season.
I know.
And with
Yeah.
the introduction of maybe Thrawn or Ahsoka, with Zeb showing up, for me that's a
That's
nugget.
another
That's a
thread.
huge nugget. It's a thread. It's a nugget. It's a buffet.
It's a
It's
buffet.
a chicken nugget that Grogu wants to eat.
It's whale chips and hypersauce.
Them
Sabina,
eggs.
Hannah said Sabine and Bo are friends. Sabina's busy getting Ezra back.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
She
might-
could still show up though.
yeah.
Well, and if all roads lead to Thrawn, then that's how they can unite. You know, because
Yeah.
Ahsoka's looking for Thrawn, and then if Moff Gideon's working for Thrawn,
Yeah.
then their whole everything comes together that way.
Yeah.
That's how they unite.
I
And
love
Sa-
it when a plan comes
And
together.
Sabine's got the art. Phil said she uses a lightsaber like a bat. So uncivilized.
Yeah, right.
Hannah said for real. Phil uncivilized. And Olivia, Sabine could potentially be just as good a fighter as Bo, if not better. She has a lot of experience. Bo doesn't. I'd say they'd be even.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure.
And then if Sabine approves of Bowden,
Yep.
well, we got
Right.
Sabine and Ezra could be quite the.
They're
Power
the power
couple.
couple.
That's the
right
power
there,
couple
man.
right there. Because
Yeah.
now you're talking.
Because that's like an actual Jedi, like
Jedi
full-fledged
and
Jedi.
Mandalorian.
So you're
Yeah,
talking
Mandalorian.
double date with Bo and Din, and then you got Sabine and
Wow.
Ezra. That'd be. I want to see those conversations
Right.
Yeah, that's
because
crazy.
Ezra would be interested in their kid. Be like, how's the kid doing? Like
Yeah.
he's the cool coach. She's like, yeah, he's coming over for lessons tomorrow. You know,
Yeah,
and they
that'd
could
be
work
really
together. And but
Although
but,
I feel like we're gonna meet Ezra potentially in a dark place.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I feel like a lot of stuff
He's been through some crap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean he went off with Thrawn.
Well, we've
Right.
seen him in a dark place. We've seen him in almost
It's going to
the
be
dark
even
side.
darker.
Yeah, I just wonder if like something happens to him, since he can't get back, or if
Right.
Thrawn is able to capture him or keep him captured, and I don't know, is using Ezra to like make clones. If
Mhm.
the whole clone thing comes back, with the Force.
Force sensitive
So-
clones.
And he's creating his own army of
Yeah.
like Force sensitive clones that are going to take over the galaxy.
What if he doesn't make it? That'd be sad. He's
Yeah.
too good to not make it.
No,
Yeah, no,
well
I
they
think
already
They
cast
killed
it.
off his
They
master
cast
already.
Ezra.
You can't be doing that.
Yeah.
They cast Ezra in the Ahsoka show.
Because that was heavy. I watched that season finale when I was pulling clips for one of our videos. I was like, man, that is such a good finale.
Right.
It is.
I mean, and
Yeah.
with the way Sabine lets him get away, like she wasn't worried about him. Like she trusted him finally.
She trusted
you know
him
what I
enough,
mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like they had worked together long enough, and she's like, "I trust you, Ezra. Yeah, you do what
Yeah.
you got to do." So she distracted the crew
Right.
so he could get away and make
Yep.
the final, stop with Thrawn, and I mean, saved all of them. So of course they're gonna go after him. So I mean, that would be, they didn't give the impression that he was gone forever. So but I think
No,
you're right. I think
right.
he's gonna be
No,
dark.
no.
Ezra Bean and Bo Din.
Ezra Bean.
Yeah, Ezra Bean.
I like it. Dimbo.
Didn't
Or Bowden. Sorry. Okay.
Dimbo
Romance
for
would
the window.
return. Says Phil. Allie Howard said, "The more I see the armor fight, the more I think she needs the dark saber."
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes,
I don't think she wants it though either. That's the
No.
weird thing.
Yeah.
Unless
I
she's
don't know who
playing
wants it.
4D chess.
so much chemistry.
No, she did not make it. She could make another one. I wonder if she could make Darksaber 2.0 for Grogu.
Maybe. Dark
Well, they need
dagger.
Dark
There's-
dagger.
That has a kyber crystal in it, don't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'd have to
So,
get a
they'd
kyber
have-
crystal to do that. But that would be interesting for the fact that he is technically kind of a Jedi and Mandalorian, which is
Right.
what Tar Vizsla was.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he'll just get it passed down to him. Really, that's
He
kinda
could.
what I was.
Yeah, that would make sense as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take this and rule, my son.
My son.
I'm
Yeah.
your dad.
I'm your dad.
Get it done.
People think
Daddy.
Ezra's going to be fine. They think he'll have a hard time, but Sabine will help him come back and heal
Right.
from that darkness.
Right. I
But
feel
what a
that's I'm saying.
reunion.
It's more like he's gonna be like hurt or like he messed with his mind.
Yeah, he's
Because
gonna
there's
be
like the
messed
whole
up.
Mount Tantus situation that could play into it. It could be a lot of stuff. And if the point of the show is finding Ezra or finding Thrawn to find Ezra, then that's like I feel like there's gonna have to be some sort of conflict. there.
Crossroad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crossroads.
Crossroad.
Crosshair.
Phil said, asked, can the armor make sabers, which is what we're talking about. If she finds a black crystal, then yes, said Hannah. Grogu would need to find his own kyber crystal if he wants his own saber.
Yeah. They got to go to Ilum.
Gotta go to Ilum.
Dude,
Washed
that would be
away.
sweet.
It
Maybe
would
they
be.
were on Ilum already.
Yeah.
That's what they should have done in season 2. That ice planet they were on. That
Yep.
should have been Ilum.
Mm-hmm. And he
And
finds
then-
a kyber
And he
crystal.
finds a kyber crystal
Yep.
there. That's how he makes his lightsaber.
All
That would've
right.
been sweet.
Well, I think it's time with Phil's
Yeah.
suggestion to head on to Bad Batch.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely need to
We
move
are
on.
ready to do this thing.
We are ready.
And it was the ending of the Bad Batch season 2 tonight.
Let's rate it. We got to rate this.
yeah,
though,
let's
real
rate
fast.
this episode.
Let's rate this episode on a scale of 1 to 10. Let us know in the comments what you rate this episode. We want to
Yeah.
hear from you guys.
Do it.
But as for me and this crew of motley pirates, this episode was called The Pirates.
The pirate.
Look, okay,
Yeah, I know. He had a tough day.
I had a tough day.
We've been over it. We
No.
don't care.
I know.
That's why he keeps talking.
What are you guys rating this? Let me know. Nick,
Go solid 9.
solid 9.
Just because of all the goofiness in it.
Not a soft 9.
Solid 9.
He said solid.
The plot convenience episode.
Yes. Matt, how about you?
I agree. A 9. That's what I was thinking. Don't mind me.
Dan, how about you?
I'm going to say solid 9.1. Are we allowed to do tenths on this
Hey,
show?
you do whatever you
Yeah,
floats your boat.
we-
Yeah, well,
This
yeah,
is the
whatever.
pirate episode, so rules are meant to be broken, right, Matt?
That's right.
That's what I'd be saying.
That's right. They
That's
they
the way
pulled
to
up.
live
They were
life.
cannoning that whole thing just like a pirate ship would do it. It was
Yeah.
like, it was just like Smee and Captain Hook rolling up to the Lost Boys.
Yeah.
Right.
And Peter Pan was Grief Karga, maybe. I don't know how that would play out. It felt like a very piratey thing, you know.
Why?
So I liked it, but I'll give it a 9.1 because I liked all the pirate references and I liked the
Nice.
bow scene. So let's go.
I just realized why Matt went to jail is because he keeps saying that rules are meant to be broken.
Yep.
Bringing that back up again.
That was hilarious last
I'm
night.
gonna have
I'm just
people
saying.
asking me why.
You
I
didn't
went
watch
to
our
jail
live stream last
for
night.
it.
Go and watch
I
it. That's
swear
a
I
hilarious
didn't.
reference and callback. I just made
Full
that up.
circle.
I'm
And
gonna
Dustin-
have people asking me why I went to
No,
jail.
he has not
And-
ever actually been to jail, but it is hilarious. That
Matt is the
That's what he
squeakiest,
thinks.
cleanest person you ever did see.
Yeah.
I was
But Dustin, you got to say your number because there's a lot of numbers in the comments.
What about fact checker first?
Fact checker.
I don't know. I'm going to get it wrong.
Yeah, you are. So just say a number.
Okay. I'll say 8.5 because I felt like it was a little cheesy
Yeah.
at parts.
It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Sorry.
No,
Ridiculous.
I'm right there with you. Actually, I'm going 8.5.
I was
Yeah.
thinking you were gonna go like.
I
7.
almost went 8,
Like, wow.
but for the moving the story forward, I'm going 8.5.
Yeah.
If we didn't get any big bads or like get a plot like moving us forward, I would have been probably like a 4 on this episode.
They're doing such a better job of not giving us filler though.
Yeah.
Like they're managing it very well this season. Like there's stuff that they got to get to that they're trying to get to, but they're always moving it just a little bit. Maybe there's some plot convenience in there, but you know what I mean? There hasn't been like a throwaway episode.
Right.
They've all had moments, at least for me.
Well, in some ways, I mean, it's
Other
usually
than the
like
third episode.
the only thing though is it's usually
Yeah.
like almost at the end of the episode though. You could almost argue that a lot of these episodes
Yeah.
are filler.
Yeah, they make you they bring you in cold and they leave you off warm.
It's still like
they bring you on dead.
They
And
put
you in the
bring you
microwave.
back to
they
life.
bring you to Mount Tantus, they clone you and bring you
Oh
out
my
warm.
goodness.
Don't listen to my
All right,
references.
we gotta jump.
But in the
Yeah, we
chat,
gotta-
Let's get to bad.
in the
Batch.
chat,
We're
there's a
done with
bunch of
this.
10s. They got 10s out of 10s, 10s out of 10s,
Wow.
100s
Okay.
out
9
of 10s.
10.
Jane
Chat's
Doe
loving
gave
it.
it a 9.
on.
Empress said 10 out of 10. Hi,
Respectable
everyone.
9.
Hi, Empress.
Hi,
Hello.
We saw Zeb, so 10. Secret Songs, 20.
Yep.
He's got 20 secret songs, so we want
20
to hear
secret
him.
songs.
One about Zeb. The best part of the
damn.
episode is we have a new quest in mind now.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like it.
I do like that.
Allie said, "Stay safe, my nerd family." Yeah,
you
we
too.
got it. And Zeb, I mean, Zeb was a pretty big. I liked Zeb. That got me the 0.1 there. Eddie 9.5 out of 10. Needed Dimbo hug or kiss for the season 10.
Yeah.
So it's coming. Maybe they got the head bump. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, Bad Batch.
Let's get to Bad
Yeah,
Batch.
we
Thank
need
you
to get
everybody
to
for
Bad
commenting out
Yeah.
there. Again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your frenemies about us. We're trying to get to 5. What are we at right now? Do we get any more? Maybe I shouldn't keep asking this question.
Yes, we did. Refreshing.
Yes.
We're at 483.
483.
All
baby.
right.
We're
Let's
getting- We're getting closer. Thank you everybody for sharing the love out there. We appreciate it. All right, we're gonna get on to Bad Batch. The season finale was a two-parter finale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First episode was called what was
The summit.
Summit. Wow,
It's literally
okay.
right there.
Where?
Open your
Read.
eyes.
Where? Okay, the summit.
Oh my goodness.
And then the last episode was Plan 99.
Yep.
We're gonna get into this. It sounds like people are pretty excited about this in the chat.
A lot of people have already.
And
said
I'm here
stuff
to crush
about
your
it.
hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking.
no, that's my job.
Oh yeah, that's
You
your
took
job.
my job
I'm
again.
sorry.
Well, Dustin took it last. Yeah, he's just been taking it this episode.
He's
I
just had a
have. I'm
bad
sorry.
day.
Look, things happen. You know, I can't control everything.
Can you control anything?
My emotions.
Nobody can. Control is an illusion.
Yeah.
Illusion.
So in a non-spoiler
Yeah,
way,
non-spoilers. We're gonna get into
non-spoilers for the video here. We got it was an interesting semi-emotional turn of 2 episodes.
Yep.
You know, I like the commercial break with it splitting up into 2 parts, you know. It felt like the TV like, all right, let's go get a bag of popcorn and refresh our drinks. Let's come back for Plan 99,
Which we did
Right.
neither of.
which
No.
we did. We just went right
We're
into
just
it.
like, let's keep going. Come on.
Yeah, we had a lot of Star Wars to get to. But the first episode 9, I liked. There was some good stuff in the Empire side of what was going on. I kind of liked those scenes.
Mhm.
The rest of
9?
the. I'm
You mean
sorry,
episode-
9. What
The
am I?
summit?
The summit.
Yeah.
Summit.
There you go.
Sorry.
The second to last. I'm sorry. I don't
He
know.
I was
probably meant to
confused.
say Plan 99 and just stop
No,
on 9.
no, I don't know. I'm just thinking the final episode was number 10, and
He was
the
just
second to
thinking
last
there's
was
10
number 9.
episodes. Because 16 is
right.
kind of a weird number.
It's
Yeah, it's
15, and
15, okay.
it was interesting. emotional,
No.
and that's all I got to say about it because I
Yeah.
can spoil the rest.
And it was like, it's another one of those episodes. It's like, where has this been the whole season? Like, it wasn't the greatest episode, but it was, like I said, they got 2 different shows going, and this was the other show. This episode and the next episode, and
Yeah.
they were good.
Yeah.
Ish.
They had action. There was a lot of action going on. It
Yeah.
was the Bad Batch getting to be the Bad Batch for the most
Right?
part.
Yeah.
Right.
And
You got to see some other
Partially.
characters.
When they were being the Bad Batch, it was
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yep.
But yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Camera off me now.
Yeah. Why? I don't know why you're leaving it
Love
on
to leave it awkwardly.
an awkwardly long time, Dan. But there you go. I'll just stare into the camera.
yeah. So a lot of people. No, you guys finish your thoughts. Go ahead, and then we'll
Yeah,
get
go
to the
ahead,
chat's
Dustin.
thought because I want to hear the chat's thought on this.
Go
one.
ahead,
Okay.
My
Yeah,
thoughts are
no.
good.
It was a decent episode. We ran into a character we haven't seen in a long time,
Yeah.
which I think that was actually probably one
That
of
was
the
cool.
most interesting parts of this episode.
Right.
That definitely threw everything for a curve. It didn't go the way I thought it was going to go,
Right.
and I think that's what's left me a little like, why? Necessarily, I'm like, what? But whenever the action was solid, it was good. It was kind of just like, what? Sometimes the Bad Batch just reminds me of like an 80s action film. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to think too hard about it, but there's just a lot of action, and that's just fun to watch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's kind of what reminded me of it a little bit in this. And they had a plan. I just don't feel like the plan was.
It didn't get
wasn't very
executed
coherent.
the way it
Yeah.
should have.
They didn't really know their plan 100% when they went in, and that's
Yeah.
the kind of part that I have difficulty with in some ways.
They said Plan 99, and then he forgot to tell him what Plan 99 was.
Right.
What happened? He's like,
Yeah.
wait, you didn't tell me what it was.
Wait, are we in spoilers or not
No, we're
spoilers?
No,
It's fine.
No,
I
I
didn't
didn't
spoil
spoil
it. He didn't really
anything.
spoil
Didn't
it.
spoil
Okay, I
didn't spoil
forgot.
anything.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, in the end of this episode, I was kind of like, oh, that's where we're ending episode 15.
Right. It was kind of like,
It was an awkward.
It was kind of an awkward ending there,
Yeah.
but
I mean,
But
both
you
of
got
them-
to jump right into
both
the
of
next
the
one, so it
endings
wasn't
were
a big deal.
awkward.
they were.
Yeah.
I agree.
What was the
I-
ending of the
but-
last one?
Exactly. You
Yeah.
don't even remember it. It was that bad.
I love the sound. the sound design.
The
I
sound
love
design
this.
was probably the best part
and
of
the
this-
music.
Yeah.
of these 2 episodes.
However they do that, because they really dig into the sound design for these animated shows to give them the weight when they need it.
Yeah.
And you can tell based on the sound design and the music what the tone is of the show. I mean, unlike maybe Mandalorian where the armorer was,
Yeah, that was
confusing.
slightly off.
this music seems to set the stage
Nailed it.
because it really, you don't need a lot of dialogue when the music and the sound design is right with the imagery.
Right.
Especially when episode 16 happened at the beginning there. We're like, yeah, this is awesome. I like this kind of feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about in the spoilers, but it was well done.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we also got some other familiar faces that were really cool. Interesting to see and what they were talking about and dealing with. It was some pretty big Empire type things. So I found that fascinating. I almost
Yeah.
wanted to stay on that more than I wanted to see
Exactly.
other
Right.
things going on in the show. It was funny how their guns worked in this episode. We
Yeah.
weren't sure if they were. I don't
It's a
wanna
lot of
spoil
changing
anything,
for
but-
a
It's
mission.
50-50
It's-
shot.
Yeah.
They're
We'll go
playing
into-
Russian roulette with them.
Yeah, we'll go into it more in spoilers, but it was kind of humorous in that
Yeah.
regard. Not really, but it was like, okay.
They
what's
really
their
thought it
process
through. Yeah.
here?
Yeah. We were trying to analyze, figure out how and why the bullets that come out are the way that they are.
yeah.
Why are
That's funny.
you the way that you are?
I like
Ah,
it. It felt like Hunter was being more of a leader in this, although I don't know where it really got us. But I liked seeing that aspect.
Camera went off.
His
Pose, Dustin. Pose.
Yeah.
I liked that he was actually they were using some of their actual special abilities more in this one.
Yeah.
There was a hilarious interaction with Tech in the beginning of the 2 episodes.
That was great.
Mhm.
With somebody else. I
Yep.
really enjoyed that.
That was great. It was awesome.
And we understand why they're building up a certain character in this season for what happens. And we'll go more into spoilers on that. But
Yeah.
overall, I don't know.
Not terrible.
There's some pros and some cons. It just didn't go the way I thought it was going to go. And I think it could have been a
Mhm.
lot more epic than what it ended up
Especially
doing.
the ending.
Yeah.
it just left me wanting so much more, and that's what I
Yeah.
feel like the Bad Batch has done for me this entire season, other than the Crosshair episodes. The
It
Crosshair
left you wanting
episodes-
more, but not necessarily in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because like you want that cliffhanger, but like
I don't want to watch.
We
a
want
whole
more
new
This-
meat.
season.
You got to have a little more meat before you get
right.
get to the cliff, right? Maybe.
yeah,
Yeah.
it just
But there was
The
weight.
writing.
There was just if you average out the season though, and there's some there's most of the episodes were pretty light, right?
yes.
In intent,
Too
you know,
light.
and story wise for the greater Star Wars universe, maybe too light for us.
Yeah.
Maybe not for other people, but for us. And then there were some episodes that were unbelievably heavy.
Yeah.
But then when you average it out, you know, a bunch of light, a little bit of heavy, you know, the season finale kind of, you know, somewhere in the middle, but still more to the light side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they gave you some weight at the very, very
They
end.
didn't quite even out.
Let you with. There's definitely a season 3. Hey, that's good. I'm excited for season 3 if they can plow forward in the in the right way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
See, we were thinking that with season 2, and it
Right.
didn't go
See,
that
that's-
way.
They've
season
failed
1, yeah.
on 2
That's my
attempts
qualm.
essentially.
Like I
Yeah.
don't have faith at this point that they can
No.
bring it home.
No.
we
It's just
saw
gonna be a-
glimpses of the best Clone Wars and glimpses of the best Rebels.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it was not.
It was like more like Resistance.
Maybe
It
more
was
like
more like-
Resistance.
It was more like the
Right.
Resistance. in
So
season
it's just hard to find the show's identity is where we're at. You know, it's like, what
Yeah.
is this? Is this like a Rebels epic like world building? Because we got some of that,
Yeah.
and that was really good in this
Mhm.
season. Better than season 1. I think we
Right.
got more of that in this season with a couple of episodes. Even maybe the ending, maybe that leaves it off to like, wow, that's a big question. Maybe not. But then the rest of it was like, I don't know what the identity of this. The Bad Batch
Yeah.
are eating a buffet, and you know what I'm saying.
Right.
You know, if we get the lightheartedness, but it's confusing. The tone, the tempo, characters.
Yeah. It was all over the place.
Yeah, it was
tone-wise.
a little all over the
Yeah,
place if we're
tone-wise,
honest.
it
It
But
was very jarring.
and even
All
like
right.
motivations of characters and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
character development. We want to see
you-
character development.
Yeah.
not plateaus.
Yeah, exactly. That's part of it. And they drop you with a cliffhanger at the end, and you're like, okay. Like it was more just like, I kind of get where they're going, but like they thought that was going to be like, we're going to leave them with this. Are you ready?
Now I remember what the end of the episode
You
was.
know? And then you're like,
very
and then
underwhelming.
and they're like, oh yeah, that's great.
Right.
Like, they thought they were dropping a truth bomb on us.
And
as
we were
Nick
just
says.
like, and then it ended. And we're
they
like,
were done. Oh
that's it. That's where
Oh.
you're ending it.
okay.
yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
let's
I
get
can't
into
wait
for
let's get into
season 3.
So
spoilers.
there's some good, there's
Yeah.
some bad. It's the Bad Batch. We don't rate it now. We'll rate it in spoilers.
Yeah.
Can we say?
Let's get the
Let's do spoilers.
Let's
Let's just
do
hop into them.
spoilers.
Spoilers.
All right,
People
so
have been spoiling anyway.
If you haven't seen Bad Batch episodes 15 and 16, The Summit and Plan 99, we are going to spoil them in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Everybody but one person dies.
Wait, you mean?
Wait, scratch
So,
it, reverse
which
it.
way- Which is it?
No.
Yeah, everybody in the
it's
comments.
opposite.
We saw Tech coming, right? I
We
feel bad
did, yeah.
because I related with
Yeah.
Tech as the techie person here.
You
that
are
breaks
Tech. It
I
was-
break everything, and I felt bad for him because they started developing a relationship with him and another character that we don't particularly like.
That exchange though was hilarious.
That was
It was
hilarious.
so
That was
funny.
great.
She's
That
like
was
all,
the bomb.
oh, you're gonna leave without saying goodbye. He's like, yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Went back to his.
I don't like
day
you
to
that
sleep.
much.
It was
Did
like,
you need a briefing?
Yeah, that was hilarious. I was
It's-
like, wow.
Oh,
It's
me,
kind
when
of
I,
a
me when I flirt with women.
It's kind of
Oh,
like
man.
when you
gosh.
when it's a trope, but when they make the robotic character have the most emotional moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, and that's kind of the way they went.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of hard because it was hard on Omega when Echo left.
Yeah.
But this is another level because Tech had to do what he had to do,
yeah, do what he had to do.
and he was bringing him along the whole time. I think they get rid of him because he was the closest with Omega at one point. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
and so it was
Also-
the most.
Yeah, I think they're gonna just pull like a Winter Soldier with Tech.
You don't
And
think
he's gonna
dead.
be no. They're just gonna turn him to
Yeah.
The way they
vampire.
brought his goggles
Lackey.
back, you don't think he's dead, but it makes his sacrifice
Yeah.
nothing.
Right, yeah.
So-
If he's not dead, then they did kind of nullify
Well,
his-
what
That's what I'm
is-
saying, though.
What
That's
is
what
Plan
they do.
99?
Yeah, I don't know.
So that's what I mean. I'm going to fake a death here. Don't worry, I got a parachute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are going to have to find me later, but
and you have
move
to
along.
act like I'm actually dead for Omega.
Yeah,
Just to torture.
maybe.
Just a torture. That's understandable.
Wow.
They're like, man, this is gonna be the greatest joke ever.
They had it planned out. This entire mission. That was their only.
So they actually had an
thing.
excellent plan, but it was just to mess with Omega.
the GPS was
On
not
that-
the plan.
No.
On that thought, the show is brilliant.
Yeah, if they did that,
Slow
Finally,
clap.
somebody did it.
somebody destroyed Omega. Wow. Are we
Uh,
horrible
and
people?
we might be, but
Oh,
in
no,
case,
because it's just a cartoon. Like,
yeah.
can't be
Chill.
that bad.
No,
Just chill
it's interesting that he had to die, and then the crash scene afterward
Yeah.
led to the beginning of episode 16, which was pretty good, right? It was like war,
Pretty heavy.
kind of shock,
Shell shock.
shell shock,
Yeah.
getting her out of there.
Yeah, I like that,
That was
creative.
Yeah,
sound
that was really
design.
cool. That
It
was-
felt like
awesome.
epic. The music, it was not really music; it was just sound. You
Yeah,
know?
that was
It
a
was
cool
the in and
creative.
out and the black and out. Yeah, that was. I think that was really
Through
cool.
the eyes of
Yeah.
Omega. Yeah, that was a cool creative decision there, and the way they filmed that or did that, not really filmed it, but animated
They
that was
did.
pretty dang cool.
This was
In a
legit.
computer.
and
But-
Saw Gerrera.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So that was a cool. I was kind of out of left field. You're
It
kinda
was,
like,
yeah.
What? Okay, it makes sense in some ways, but it also
What are the
totally derailed
chances?
what I thought was going to
Yeah.
happen. Because
What
I'm
are
like,
the chances of that too? Running into each
Right.
other
Yeah.
on some random planet at this particular place.
well, it's because Saw Gerrera, he's more of like a terrorist type. So
Yeah,
he's,
no, he
he's
is.
trying to take out the higher
he
in
proved
the
that
empire.
time
Yeah.
and time again.
So he had good
informant,
intelligence.
maybe the informant that Echo was talking about was Saw Gerrera.
Maybe.
Or one of Saw Gerrera's men,
Or one of those
somebody
people.
like that.
They're in cahoots. You know what I'm saying? They got
Could be.
information, intel from the same
Saw
person.
Gerrera and Scene Gerrera.
Saw
I saw Gerrera.
Maybe the intel was.
One. I just spoiled it.
Oh my gosh.
Can't,
One. I just spoiled it.
Oh my gosh.
can't believe you.
6, 7, 8 years ago that came
Yeah.
out.
All right.
Really?
That's your fault now.
How did it end, Dustin? I'm
What?
just kidding.
Rogue One.
I'm just kidding.
It was depressing ending.
Yeah, we were just kidding.
He
We
was
didn't-
just kidding.
Do you want me to
It
go
was
into
a-
this
No,
right now?
we don't because
No.
we'll be here for 2 hours.
No, but we do like the tie-in
It was a
with Saw
rhetorical
Gerrera
question.
and Stardust, and all of this time period is pretty interesting. That to me was a good plus. I like that in episode
Yeah.
15. Seeing Tarkin, seeing Krennic, seeing their whole compound there is always cool. The weight of what's his name wasn't backing down. Hemlock was not backing down from Tarkin. He's like, whatever,
Yeah,
man.
or
I'm
any
late.
of
I was
them.
doing stuff. Deal with it.
Right.
Tarkin's like, fine. I'll bring Vader in. He'll talk to you.
Right.
But
That was the interesting thing. Fact checker, can you check to see who all was at that table? Because there was 2 other people at that table that I don't know.
I think Wolf
Oh,
Yularen
shoot.
was one of them.
You think Wolf? But I
Yeah.
thought Wolf was a little bit older.
I mean, he
would
was
have had
older.
white hair there.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah.
I feel like he would
guess.
have had white hair.
Well, no, because this is like right after,
Yeah. So maybe, yeah.
Order
that could have been.
66.
One of those.
So
could
he's
have been.
getting older. I don't think he has white hair yet.
That could have been Wolf, the one who was talking about the clones and
Yeah.
how he was almost sticking up for the clones.
Yeah, he's like, I fought with the clones.
But the other guy, I don't know who the other guy was.
Yeah, no.
He seemed like, and then there was an empty chair,
Mhm.
which begs the question: who was that for?
Palpatine.
Papa
Papa
Palps?
Papa?
Or
But he
Vader?
got intel. Or Vader, yeah. Or
He
anybody.
had
Baby
intel
Vader.
that things were going down.
Or
Yeah.
Cyril and
Didn't show
Deidre.
up.
Cyril and Deidre.
Right.
ISB,
Yeah.
the leader of the ISB. I don't
Right.
know. Are they around yet?
Well, what's
Maybe.
his name's in the ISB technically? Krennic.
Apparently, we were buffering
So was
for a
Wolf
minute,
Yularen.
so we're back.
Okay, sorry about that.
Apologies.
But yeah, that was interesting. The funny thing, though, let's get into that, was there are weapons in this.
yeah.
Russian
Right.
roulette, Matt said.
It's like,
Yeah.
are we going?
Take your guess.
Are we going lethal or non-lethal?
Yeah, because it was
let's
like,
spin the dial.
yeah, because it like seemed to depend on who they were targeting, but not really.
Yeah.
Because like stormtroopers showed up in the very beginning when they first saw stormtroopers, and they were just like,
Blast
they're
those
done.
fools!
They
Not
just
holding
shot
back
him,
and
knocked him over
sent
the
over
edge.
the rail.
Yeah.
It's like almost every other time they're just stunning people.
Yeah.
And then this time it was like, nope, straight
Well, and
murder.
then literally, like after they
Straight
shot those
murder.
ones at the over the edge, they went to the flight command place
Yeah, they
and
opened the
stunned
door.
them.
And
then
And
they
I was
stunned
like,
them.
Instantly shot.
What are
when
the
they
rules
opened the
here?
door, so like,
Yeah.
they got fast reaction.
it was a
or
little
something.
inconsistent.
it was like, yeah, we're killing, but not really that much.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, it was interesting. That was
Yeah.
just kind of funny to us. And then we run into Saw later, and I'm like, did they kill Saw's men?
Right?
You know, they were-
No, wait.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because they were,
Yeah.
you know, in the stormtrooper outfits.
Yeah.
Secret Song said, Saw saved Tech.
I don't see it.
I don't see it.
All right.
I think they were
You didn't
long
see
gone.
Saw
I
If he's
save Tech?
alive, the Empire has him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they got him in Mount Tantus. I
Yeah.
think they took him back
Ouch.
to Mount Tantus, and they're going to experiment.
We
on
thought that might have been him at first when we went back into Tantus with Omega at the very
We
end.
saw-
Nick
I was like, the hairline's not right though.
him. Yeah. The thing is, if you don't see a body in Star Wars, then they're probably
Right.
not dead.
Exactly.
There's always nobody's ever really gone.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Tech's
line.
out
With
there
the
somewhere.
goggles being
Yeah.
kind of a thing.
Especially since they showed the goggles.
Right.
That means they found him.
Right. 100%. So
or did they
And he
find a
was-
body, or did they find? Yeah.
Well, if they found the goggles, they found the body.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, they've brought Tech back from Tech. No, I'm sorry, Echo back from Crazier Things.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Echo
So-
was practically a husk.
Poor Tech, he's going to become Techo.
Techo.
Tico.
He'd make a better Echo in
Tiki
some ways.
Baker.
Yeah, Sayo said they only don't kill clones.
Right.
Yeah, I mean
Which-
that makes sense. But there was other episodes.
They
where
stunned the science officer.
yeah,
who,
that's
you
what
know,
we've
the
noticed that pattern.
they shot the
Yeah.
the new stormtroopers and threw him over the edge.
just like that.
Right.
Just like
But
that.
And,
what were? Why
the-
did they stun the ones inside the? Were those clone troopers? Like
no, those were
those?
No,
were,
those are stormtroopers.
those are
That's what I don't
stormtroopers.
get.
Well, and Omega doesn't have any
Stormtrooper.
kind of stun ability, does she? With her thing, she just shoots to kill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think she does have a stun.
yeah,
With that
she's-
bow.
but she misses all the time. So.
Yeah. She's a terrible shot.
Yeah.
I don't know. She had a few people, but you're right, not enough.
she hit a
And
few
this-
people.
This episode went totally opposite of what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah,
We didn't
yeah.
see any crosshair. That was disappointing
Yeah.
for me. Actually, I was.
we only
I
saw him
was-
unconscious.
I thought for sure Crosshair. I know he was in 14 a lot, but he tried to get out. You know,
Mhm.
it was like, and then their whole point was to go get him.
Yeah.
And it ended before they could even. They were like, "We're gonna just retire on Pabu, and we're just
Yeah.
gonna do this." And
It was just out of
like,
left
stop
field.
saying
Yeah,
that.
that's why it was
Stop
like-
saying that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're going to honor his sacrifice by doing nothing to avenge his death.
Exactly. It's like,
In
yeah.
some ways, you're
Let's
like,
we're
just go
done.
settle down at this
wait a
place.
second.
I thought it was gonna be them joining the rebellion.
Yeah, I thought
I
it was going
thought
to be
that's the
like,
route
all
they
right,
were
we're
gonna
going to do
take.
something to take down this empire
Like-
that killed our boy Tech.
He gave
Yeah.
a decent speech and then went
And then went
a
a
complete route.
Yeah.
Different route. What?
Yep.
What? I thought for sure she was going to get captured, and then that was going to be the summit. You know, they get captured, and then the rest of the Bad Batch was going to have to show up in Mount Tantus and rescue her and
Yeah.
Crosshair.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That would have been so much more satisfying
Yep.
Right.
to an ending. You know what I mean? I don't know. I guess they're setting up more with Mount Tantus, and they're trying to set up a lot more with that.
Yep.
But it was just
a
like,
whole season's
what
worth.
is happening here?
I mean, it's like they just didn't have enough writing,
Yep.
freedom or whatever.
I don't know.
I don't know what
Fortitude.
they're doing.
But,
But and then
yeah.
what happens too is Hunter again
Calm down,
tells-
Angela. Oh,
tells Omega to run, get out of here. They're coming for us.
she didn't listen.
And I was
Yeah,
like,
for
for once in your life, Omega, listen to
Listen.
them. And of course, she does not. This is
Yep.
the dumbest thing.
One
It's so
time.
predictable.
Just
It was.
do something you're told.
For
hate-
what?
Doing everything wrong.
Yeah.
She doesn't clearly.
Yeah. And then, of course, gets captured, after they
Yeah.
basically sacrifice them. They all sacrifice themselves for her. And then
Right.
she gets captured anyway because she doesn't listen. Oh, my goodness. And
Well, I
doesn't
have-
even really do a good job saving
she's
them.
like, oh,
It's
they need-
Echo
Yeah, I know.
who saves them.
Because she was like, "Oh, I need to help him. Whatever, I need help." Like, what are you gonna do?
Right.
Yeah. It's just it seemed to be too common of a thread where they would be like, all right, Omega, we need you to stay at the ship and watch this thing and do this thing over here. And she ends up going. And the one time she found Gunji, which was cool,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, that
you
was
know,
like
helped
the
get Gunji
only
out.
time.
That's
But, you
an
know, if-
exception.
eventually she's got to follow orders, and she never really learned to follow the
Right.
orders of her dad, Hunter, Every time Hunter gave her an order, she pretty much never listened.
Right.
Yeah,
And because
the
she's
leader of the Bad
emotionally,
Batch.
she's emotionally driven. She was just, she just lost Tech. She's like, I'm not going to lose all them. But the best way to get them out of there actually would have been to not get yourself trapped.
Right.
Because if you can get out, look, Echo was around the corner anyway,
Yep.
wasn't he?
Yeah.
And
Go
so
get Rex.
you get away, they'll catch you before you can get out of town anyway.
Yeah.
Or something. They had a plan. Hunter had a plan. They're not. I mean, Wrecker was in those things, but then when time came, he just was like, psh.
Yep.
Yeah, that
Didn't he
was
just
funny.
break him?
Yeah, he
like-
just broke them apart. Why didn't we do that sooner?
So then they
Yeah.
and AZ could have helped her, but I thought maybe AZ would step up and like, look, this is your moment. You need to listen, Omega.
Right.
But it
Slap
didn't.
her a little bit. Say, get your crap together.
It's
Good
just-
soldiers follow orders,
Good
Hannah said,
soldiers
and
follow
it's,
orders.
Yeah.
it's just she's just there
She's not a
wasn't a
good
moment,
soldier.
and this is where she ends up. You know what I mean? She ends up at Mount Tantus, but even then, she's like bossing the people around at Mount Tantus.
She's walking around
Yeah,
the
she just
facility.
does her
without-
own thing.
The
They're like, you can take her back.
stormtroopers Don't care.
Bad Batch. We don't want to deal with her.
Yep.
We don't want another clone of her. However, what is that all about with her sister?
That's the ending.
Oh, I'm your sister.
Because we guessed that like 4 episodes ago when she showed up. We're like, it's like the same voice actor or actress.
it
It
is.
did. I
Yeah.
didn't realize it though. to be
But
honest.
I
didn't
but I
wanna
mean,
realize
I was like,
it.
it's
Yeah.
like they're the same person or something, and here we
Right.
are, and that's what it's all about. So obviously, there's something else going on with.
Yeah, that was the big bombshell
Reveal.
at the end,
And it wasn't
and we were
even that
kind of like,
big.
It was.
we're like, yeah, go on. And then it's like
"That's the
direct
end."
created by Dave Filoni. And we're like,
what?
you kidding, right? That's where you're gonna end it. Where do we go from here?
I think they're just really trying to build up like the whole Mount Tantus situation.
Mount Tantus.
Mount Tantus.
Just unless they're going to give us the next season in like this summer, that's like a long time to wait for kind of what feels like a little bit of a
Yeah.
not as big a cliffhanger. Like I want to see the Bad Batch like ride off into the sunset with Crosshair. This would have been a great finale to get Crosshair back, and they could all ride off into the sunset. Or maybe then they switch Omega for Crosshair, and then they got to
Yeah.
think of how they're going to go back and get her or something.
right.
I just feel like leaving Crosshair dead on the bed or whatever he was there, strapped
on the
down
bed.
still.
Dead on the bed.
Dead on
Tech
the
is
bed.
completely
Kick the
gone. We got
bucket.
Echo back, but he's not really with them anymore. He's supposed to
No.
be with Rex. We didn't have Rex for the finale.
Iku.
We didn't have Hauser. We didn't have where's the other guy that was with Crosshair in the one episode that we're talking in the comments?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Cody.
Cody
Commander
disappeared.
Cody.
I thought
Commander
Commander Cody could have shown up,
Yeah,
tied
what
up
the
some
heck?
loose ends. We just kind of got this.
Nobody knows.
It's like there's like one more episode we're missing.
The writing is
There's something else that we're missing to finish the season, and I feel like it just stopped a little too soon, and that's why we're having a little bitter taste in our mouth. And we're
Yep.
like, trust season 3. I don't know if I even want to see season 3, which we do. We will watch it because this is a Star Wars channel,
We won't.
but Nick
Well,
won't
We
watch
will
it.
Force ourselves.
that
to
was
won't
the
want
only
to.
thing. Like
watch it.
it ended on that, and I was like, "Well, there's definitely gonna be a season 3." And I was
Right.
like, "Dang it, that means
But
we're
you're,
gonna have to
like,
review it."
There's like
No,
there's no hype whatsoever.
no.
Like I'm
that-
not even excited. I'm like, oh, cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
it explains why, that one girl who was in Mount Tantus was
sister?
was helping, could have potentially helped
Yeah,
Crosshair
Crosshair.
there.
Yeah.
That explains that, but then it begs the question: why is that Hemlock dude trusting this chick then? If that's a clone,
Right.
like, does he not know that, or
He must
According
know
to some
that.
people, Omega was the only one of her kind, wasn't
yeah?
Yeah.
she? So
it's like, but they have the same voice.
Right.
Right.
Somebody's got to
What's
figure this out.
happening, bro?
Or even Lama Su. Does Lama say Su, Lama whatever? No.
Lama
Does
say
Seisu.
Llama, Mama
Does she
Llama.
not
Lama
know
say.
that? Okay, that one. I'm thinking of like Llama the books or something.
Yeah.
Reading to kids
It's
and
a
whatnot.
llama show.
I like Phil's theory. He said, besides, he said it was really unnecessary. I want Crosshair to wake up. Then Omega tells him Tech's dead, and then,
And then
probably
just
just
go
goes berserk,
Yeah.
yeah,
starts
I
breaking
can
out,
see it.
you know, or something.
I can see it clearly.
Yeah,
And maybe
like
that's
that.
how this
Blood
next
on the
season starts.
walls.
But I liked what they did with Crosshair in this season. That for me
Yeah.
is the part we remember back, except for the fact that they never resolved any of it. He tried to break out and he wasn't able to do it on his own. Fine.
And that's where we ended.
As long as Omega by herself doesn't break him out.
I'd say literally the only redeeming quality of this whole season and or show
I'll say it.
And or.
is Crosshair. Literally. I mean, without
His whole
Crosshair
arc.
in this show altogether, this
show would've
is a
been
waste,
terrible.
and you could throw it straight into the garbage
Blech.
because the Bad Batch should have been epic. Like they nerfed them so hard. Like
Yeah.
Yes.
the Bad Batch should have blown everybody out of the water in regards to how good they were. Like a covert op group. They were like the ones that they sent in to get things done that no other clones could get done.
Right.
But
Yeah.
it seems like all they've ever done now in the Bad Batch is done what nobody else, like the actual clones could have done better. You know, Rex is 10 times better than all of the Bad Batch.
Right.
Like they don't even use
Right.
their
In the
special gifts
show,
very
yeah.
well.
Yeah.
They don't figure things out. Omega's leading them half the time because she's a Mary Sue, and there's no character development other than she's a child and she needs to live like a child, but she doesn't want to.
But she doesn't learn
And
and
it's
doesn't
like,
get
okay, well,
taught.
where are we going with this? Can you make up your dang mind?
Well, because
So
we
that we
wanted
can-
we wanted her to get maybe force abilities or something that
Give us
explained that.
something
We were rooting for Omega
to
A lot of-
die.
Yeah, I don't think I was
Because
ever
it was-
rooting for
because-
Omega.
No, I'm saying, but we were rooting for something to make sense with her.
Yeah.
Right.
Leading
Well, yeah,
the Bad Batch
yeah.
and all this stuff, not just making her like all of a sudden she's a Mary Sue or something. But anyway, Silson took off. So see you later. Thanks, Sil, for the great
Thanks,
comments.
dude.
And everybody
Juice
that's
us. We
listening.
appreciate it, man.
It feels like we're ripping
Oh,
apart
check.
the Bad Batch, which is why we saved this for the very end. Some people in the comments really did enjoy this season, by the way.
Well, we apologize.
And so and a lot of them have different opinions on what we have in the comments, which is
All right.
great.
That's fair.
I love it. I
You
love
can
it.
be
So-
wrong. It's okay.
Oh, man.
So
We
but
ex-
we're just going to
we
give you our
accept you
thoughts.
for who you
and
are.
We have our own opinions because we're four dudes that wanted to see the Bad Batch just go in and wreck shop because that's what we loved about the Bad Batch in Clone Wars Season 7. And we expected that, and it feels like to this point we've been still waiting for that, and we've gotten hints at that. And that's where Crosshair was always even though he became the enemy, it just, we haven't seen the Bad Batch be the Bad Batch since
Right.
the Season 7 of the Clone Wars, it feels like. And maybe part of that reason is because Omega showed up, and she kind of upstaged the rest of them a
It
little
became
bit.
the Omega show.
It became the Omega
It's not
show.
the
It really
Bad
did. I mean,
Batch.
it's hard to deny that it's not the Omega show,
Yeah.
except for when she's not in it and it's just Crosshair, which
That's the only time.
And if
Yeah,
if done
it's dark.
right, if Omega would have been done right, like Ahsoka,
if she,
Exactly.
yeah, if she
that
was
could have been
taken
epic.
on.
I
If
would have
she-
been totally fine with Omega.
that's what I'm saying.
Learning, growing,
As long
getting
as she
better
can
and
learn.
better, and learning from the Bad Batch.
That's what you
Right.
do as a child.
Right.
It's crazy.
You
They,
learn.
they should have. They should have had the Bad Batch be awesome, and then her learn from them, and then she continually gets better as
Right.
they go. Not make it the other way around where they suck and she is the bestest ever,
yeah.
and they have to basically learn from her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like that's the sequel trilogy right there in a nutshell. Way
We're-
to go, guys!
we're
You
gonna have
repeated
to
your
do
same
a-
mistake.
a breakdown on this, but John Pope came in. I love this comment. John, hey, thanks for commenting. Omega's accent is terrible. Worst Australian accent I've ever heard. And then somebody said, correction, her accent isn't Australian. It's a Kiwi accent, New
What's a
Zealand. He
fruit
said,
gotta do with
gotcha.
this?
Remind me never to
easy.
go there.
Yeah.
Remind me never to go there.
No,
That's
it's
great.
just-
Wow, that
I'm
is
sorry,
dark.
John Pope.
Never go there.
We love New Zealand accents, actually.
Zealand.
When we
Zealand.
heard it, it made us happy at the
If
beginning.
John's
That's
on our
all.
live next week, we'll have to remind him again.
Right. Hey,
That's what I'm saying. Like,
don't go to New Zealand.
I personally like they keep shooting us in the foot with Omega, like just doing things that she has no right doing and leading them, and them
Yeah.
like not doing their role. If the Bad Batch was able to do their roles without Omega, and then this season it made it worse because we had Sid telling them what to do,
Right.
Oh,
and then
Right.
we had Fee telling them what to do, and then we had. And if it wasn't them, it was all three telling them what to do.
Right.
And if it wasn't that, they were just chilling on some island. We're just going to retire now, asking them,
Yeah, what's
aren't you
this,
guys done
bro?
with this? Aren't you guys done with this?
It's like, what's the point of this show anymore?
It was
Yeah.
just so like we're just in limbo land, like, and they had like the stress of like a tidal wave coming over a wall.
Yeah.
It's like, well, this isn't the Bad Batch show. Like this is the side series called the Omega Show, where she has to run away from a giant wave while she's in a boat.
Right.
right.
And she can do some cool things there, but we just got to know what the tone is. Is this a little kid show
Yeah.
with Omega as the star, or is this the Bad Batch who, with Crosshair, has to go through heck dealing with that planet on the outpost and
Yeah.
the darkness of that, and
Right.
people dying in front, and now we got Tech dying right in front of her eyes, sacrificing his life for the Bad Batch. Probably
Right.
not.
Yeah.
So you got this.
Pick a lane.
You got these
Pick
two
a
things
lane,
that were
stay in it.
confusing us, so we never knew what was going to happen, but we were really enjoying
But
that.
the writers couldn't even figure it out.
No.
That's
It
the
was
problem.
That's different writers for every episode, and that's part of the problem.
Yeah. It's
When-
scatterbrained.
When the big writers of the show came in, you could tell,
Because it was Crosshair.
and it also brought in Gunji, the Palpatine,
Right. Yeah.
Chuchi,
Chuchi.
these other external characters.
Like you ended with Chuchi.
Chuchi. I don't know why I
Chuchi.
thought of that. I saw it in the chat.
Gunji. Emperor. Chuchi.
So, yeah, Clone Wars Season 7 is what I define as the saddest season with a speechless ending.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the chills that you get when you think of the best animated stuff that we
It's-
know Star Wars can deliver.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
That's
was
where Bad
amazing.
Batch was.
they were
the Bad
solid.
Batch.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were actually the Bad Batch there. This whole show was a bait and switch. They promised you the Bad Batch, and then they gave you a female Omega Mary Sue.
Yep.
And that's where it was the bait and switch. And that's why, it's not. And that's why when we got Crosshair, it wasn't actually a bait and switch at that point.
Yeah.
We were actually following the Bad Batch, which he's only one part of the Bad Batch. So it's just that's why it's so disappointing. Like,
Yeah.
we know that it can be so much better, but the writing is just so all over the place and so off the wall that it's like, come on, guys, get your stuff
Right.
together. Like we're thinking and the comments are thinking of better stories than what they came out with. Like
Yep.
you don't subvert our expectations and make it worse. That's what The Last Jedi did. And that's how you get a split fan base, and that's how you get terrible Star Wars.
Yep.
And that they're falling into the same trap unless they can redeem it in season 3. Maybe they'll listen to everybody and they'll actually work on it and try and come up with a cohesive story that brings everything together where Omega can learn, the Bad Batch can actually be the Bad Batch, be epic, and do
Right.
good at what they can do. Have some
had those-
solid writing, connect all the dots, bring it together to a satisfying conclusion. Unless what's going to happen is the next season we're just going to build up one of the other Bad Batch to kill off.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it's
Speaking
gonna
of people to kill off, they never killed Sid off.
be. No. Yeah.
Why'd they
whatever.
go
Yeah,
back
betrayed
to her?
them.
That
to begin
betrayal.
with?
I think it's universal in the comments and with us that Sid is the worst character to
Yeah.
ever.
Well, and
ever
They
we
were
totally-
saying that.
yeah.
We totally called it too. We were like, dude, she's working for the Empire. She's not. Okay, she
Well,
wasn't
not-
necessarily working, but she sold them out to the Empire.
Yeah, which we
Which
saw
isn't
coming a mile
surprising.
away.
Yeah.
She'd sell off her firstborn to the Empire if it made her $10. You know,
Right.
That part
Yeah.
in the bar when Hunter's got his gun on Hemlock, I'm like, just shoot Sid.
Yes.
Just get rid
Yeah,
of her.
don't even shoot
Like,
Hemlock. Just shoot
The
Sid.
Empire won't even care. That you
Right? They'd
take
be like,
the one
oh,
around.
okay, we'll take our credits back.
yeah, right. They would have.
Thank
Cool.
you.
I'm surprised they didn't. But
That's
she
like
was,
the first thing they need to do in the third season is hunt Sid down
No,
and take her out.
They're not gonna though.
It's
'cause
weird.
she's a-
The
But if
show.
they did, it'd be great.
Speaking of tone, they
First
kept like
episode.
propping up Sid like she
Yeah.
was somebody that we need to like. Ah, ha, 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 she's mean to them. Ah, ha, ha. Like, why are we following Sid?
Yeah.
Why are they doing anything to help her? And then even when they went like away from her, they were still like, well, we're not really on speaking terms. Like
Yeah.
they never got upset about how she was treating them.
Yeah, but also, like, why did they even go to Sid's?
Yeah, that,
You know,
that didn't make any
like,
sense.
go back to Pabu. Why are you at Sid's place?
That was the dumbest decision ever.
You idiots.
Yeah.
You're just asking for trouble.
Yeah,
Plot
because literally,
convenience.
like for like 3 episodes, it was like we're cutting ties with Sid, and she just threatened us to like sell us out to the Empire. Oh, I know. Let's go to Sid. It's like,
That's the
Are you
best choice
idiots?
We gotta lie
possible.
low, but we're also very wanted,
It's not like there's not a
Sid
million other
is
planets
terrible.
in the galaxy.
yeah,
right?
that was so dumb.
John Pope, dude, I hope Sid gets ejected out of an airlock. I can't stand it.
Right?
Yeah, seriously.
John's on our page.
Obliterated.
A lot of people love Ryo Chuchi though. So as soon as you mention Ryo, they go bananas in the comment section.
Chuchi's. I'm not saying it just was funny the sounding of it. I
Oh
like
yeah,
Chuchi.
yeah.
I
No,
just
but
thought it
that,
was
we
funny.
liked Ryo Chuchi. We
Oh,
like,
yeah.
we like
we
she
liked-
tried to
show
help
more
the
of her.
clones.
She's cool.
There was a lot of clones and a lot of trouble in this season. And, you know, it's an interesting development watching the clones but get outdated by the stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the overarching
that was
arc.
that's an interesting arc. I will give you that.
And it's a time period that we hadn't really
Yeah.
seen as Palpatine officially instates the, stormtrooper program. And,
Yeah.
so like I said, there's things in the greater story when you zoom out, like without seeing, you zoom out so far that you don't have to see Omega and Sid or whoever else.
Right.
And think of the overall story. It had moved the story forward in the Star Wars universe. and kind of filled in some things that we hadn't seen before, which was really cool.
Mhm.
And so it's just that, unfortunately, when we showed up week to week to watch it, you never knew what you were going to get. And
Yeah.
so we were excited when Mando showed up, because then we talk about Mando.
I feel like a lot of Star Wars lately has been like first draft stuff.
Yeah.
Like, they've just been coming up with first draft, and they've just been publishing it.
Yep.
When
They're like,
they-
oh, this is great.
when they really need
push
to
this out.
they really need to go back to the drawing board and criticize their own work
Yeah.
to refine it. Let's
I
make
think-
it better. Let's make it tie together so much better. Like,
Honestly,
because there's so many missing details. There's so many things that loose ends they have. So many things that just don't make common sense. Like, you got to think about, like, well, then why that? You know, the original Star Wars definitely, it had some plot holes, but
They
that
weren't
was-
glaring.
it wasn't glaring, and it was still something that the more you thought about the original trilogy, like, the more fun it got, you know, and you could kind of expand that galaxy in your mind and use your imagination.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of, when you start thinking about the Disney era of Star Wars, the more you think about it, starts to take away from the story and from where they're trying to go with it, because there's just so many glaring plot holes and just things that don't make sense. Now, Star Wars in general doesn't always make 100% sense, but
Yeah.
you have to at least make the not glaring.
Yeah.
You know, you have to at least make some sense and have a direction and go that
Right.
direction. Don't go 8 different directions. That's why you need somebody to refine it and be like, okay, I like where you're going, but what's the point of this show? You know, what are we leading to? You know, what's the beginning, middle, and end of a good story? You know, we have to have a good story. Otherwise, it's going to fall flat on its face.
Yeah.
the John Pope, they gave Star Wars the old L. Ron Hubbard treatment. Dude never wrote a second draft in his life.
Nope.
What? Wait, who's that? Who's L. Ron Hubbard?
A writer.
Yeah. What does he write?
It's a reference that
What-
I know, but I don't know,
I know-
at the top of my
yeah.
head.
Fact checker.
I just had
Hit
it.
us up.
Some people are shipping Ryo and Fox.
Ooh,
Fox.
Who's Fox?
See Ryo and Hauser too.
Ryo and Hauser. Ryo and Thyre. Golly, I'm bad with these
Thiem?
names. Foxio, Stan all the way.
Oh, Scientology.
Scientology.
Yeah,
okay.
that's what it. Yeah.
He
Okay.
wrote.
It was on the tip of my. I thought
the
about it
tip
and
of
then
my
lost
tip.
it.
Yeah, thanks,
Martin.
Pope. Yeah, but no, I mean it's
What is
I don't know that reference.
Created Scientology.
Oh, okay. He never created a second draft.
I guess not. I think part of this is the fallout for pre-Star Wars,
I don't know what
pre-2020,
anything means.
and the quality of everything post-2020. I'm not going to say the word, but post-2020 events,
Yeah.
all the stuff that's come out has been
It's just
it's been rough.
garbage.
It's changed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No,
The
there's TV
entertainment
shows
industry's
before.
changed. Everything quality. You go get a package of whatever from the store, and it's like all busted up when you open it up. Hasn't the quality dropped a little bit since 2020? All around on every in every vein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
much.
you think
Absolutely.
about all the Star Wars well, not all of it, minus the movies, but the animated series, all that stuff, because that takes a lot of work. You got to be together in the room. You got to put stuff together, and everybody got separated out for several years. And I think we're falling out of that. Hopefully, we'll look back at this time and be like, that was horrible entertainment. Movies, they weren't the quality
Yeah.
they should have been.
Mhm.
The TV shows weren't as good as they should have been for a reason, right? And now
Yeah.
we can finally get back to, let's do some real good stuff. Let's collab. Let's make some good movies. Let's make some good TV shows.
These are the dark times.
These are the dark times.
For the Empire.
But Mando brings us back up, you know, and they're doing the best they can. That's Favreau's genius, putting it in that stage, that sound stage, and really being creative with the story. And I'm so glad Filoni's there steering that ship. And he created the Bad Batch. I wish he had more of a hand in the writing.
right.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah.
Any other?
Very
Let's get to some
wise.
comments, and then we're gonna rate it and get out of here. Unless there's not many comments to get to.
Well, speaking of the Empire, you asked me to look up who else was around
Oh,
the
yeah.
table.
Hit me up.
Okay, so Hurst Remote
No.
Ramodi. He
What was that?
in Hurst Ramodi
Hurst Ramodi.
was
know
in
that
Rogue
name.
One, played by Andy Delatour.
Delator.
I'm
pretty sure that's how you pronounce it.
Delator.
There was-
Sounds fun.
Also, Barton Coburn, who was the Admiral commanding from Clone Wars, Admiral commanding the task force which rescued Tarkin from his imprisonment from the Citadel.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah. That guy.
Oh, cool.
Right.
And
I like
then
that.
Orson Krennic. You already knew that one.
Krennic.
Did they say who the 5th chair was supposed to be? Probably
No.
not. That makes sense.
Yeah, they just had
That's
an extra
interesting.
chair.
I like how they call back that stuff. That is fun. I do
Yeah.
enjoy those callbacks and kind of connecting the world there, especially with Tarkin. Anytime Tarkin shows up, it does elevate things to
Yeah.
another level.
Right.
What we got another comment here?
Kind of, or they don't like Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
Is what
They
I'm
don't
saying.
like Kathleen
Because
Kennedy?
nobody does.
No, 100%. She's
She's ruined it.
I see. I
Phil
think
said John and Dave know what we want.
Yep.
Yeah.
John Dave definitely have their pulse on the theme of Star Wars.
All right.
And the feel of Star Wars. I
Yeah.
think they just need to tighten up a little bit on the story
Yeah.
and connecting things
Tighten
a
up.
little bit. But as far as creative goes, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are the best bet for Star Wars right now. They should be the head of Star Wars and Lucasfilm. I think she might be an all right business person, but if you look at like, oh my goodness, if you
Her
just
track
look at her track
record?
record
Yeah.
in charge of Lucasfilm,
She's
how many?
sabotaging.
It's a big shoe to fill.
yeah.
I get that.
George Lucas has one shoe, but
Why does he have one shoe?
no.
Where does his other foot go?
This is the Yoda's no legs
Yeah.
thing.
Yo,
This is the next rabbit
he's
hole.
only got
we're
one
gonna
shoe.
go down. We're gonna be
I
here
just
till
mean
He's like crap.
12 midnight.
no. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Nobody
just
can
saying.
nobody can replace George Lucas is what I'm
Right.
saying.
He
Not
needs to
one
get it
human
back.
can replace George Lucas.
Well, it's because you have to have a creative
full
in charge.
and they
Not
created
one person
right.
could replace you, Dan.
Oh, that's
That's
nice.
a good point.
We could
That's the
replace you,
nicest
Matt.
thing.
Spin it around.
No, that's okay.
No, you said not one person could replace you, Dan.
No, I heard that, but I didn't
loves
process.
He loves you
I said no.
You're
like
tech.
a brother.
When I responded like tech. No. What did he say?
You were just gonna leave without saying goodbye? Yep.
Yeah, that's it. Yep. That's what I should
I
have
just
said.
like how he said something nice, and Dan's like,
He's like, I don't
"You
know how to take this.
idiot!"
Right? How dare you insult me?
It's one of those moments again.
It's 100% not
Uh,
true, but thank you, Matt. Thank you. It
Love
doesn't
it, yeah.
make any sense. Anyway, let's move
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah.
was going somewhere, and then
Yeah. We
Matt
should probably
screwed
end
it
it.
Favreau and Filoni, Pope said, needs to run it. Kennedy's gone after Indy 5. Star Wars Celebration's her last hurrah.
yeah, I did hear that.
And
theory.
so if that era is over, this is the era that we're getting over now, then we in season 3 could maybe see something good in the Bad Batch. Maybe they rewrite, they go back to the drawing board, they give her some story. Maybe the sister thing plays in and there's a reason why she is the way she is. She can stay with her sister forever. We can let the Bad Batch do their thing, right? Or maybe they create a separate show called The Clones. It's not the
or
clone
Omega.
or Omega's clones.
Yeah.
or-
The sister clone.
It's just it's
The
just
sister clones.
you know the
Goodness.
we've
sisters
gone
of the
around it
clones.
and it's been a rough go, but we like Mando, and Bad Batch season 2 being done is kind of a relief.
Yeah, it kind of is. You know, there was
Mhm.
the crosshairs and stuff like that, and moving the plot forward with the 2 episodes in the middle was pretty cool. But other than that, we were kind of like, we take it or leave it. Pretty much leave it. So let's rate this and get the heck out of here.
Yeah.
So we usually rate this out of 5 for the
We
Bad
gotta do it out of
Batch.
4 now.
Yeah, out of 4. Oh, got him.
Wow. Dropping
Too
like
soon.
flies. Wow.
Oh.
Wow. Yeah. Also, we usually do the good, the bad, and the ugly. I would say this was ugly for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very
This was
ugly.
just ugly. I'm sorry. I did not enjoy this. There was parts I enjoyed a little bit with like the action, but that was
Yeah.
and the sound design
Yeah.
and seeing some other characters. But even that did not redeem it enough for me to
No.
make this like what a great ending.
Right.
Season 2.
Especially especially since it was supposed to be a finale. It kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't.
It's
Yeah.
kind of like me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a solid 3 out of 5 on
For the
this.
2 episodes combined.
For
For the
both,
2
yeah.
episodes combined. Yep.
yeah. I was gonna say make sure everyone knows we do it out of 5.
Yeah, out of 5.
Yeah.
So
We'll do it out of
let us know
5,
in the
yeah,
comments. Out of
yeah.
5. I know I see
Out
some
of
people
5.
doing 10, but
Yeah, it's fine.
we're doing it out of 5 for the Bad Batch because usually it was 5, now 4.
Yeah.
What do you say, Nick?
I say a 2.5.
2.5.
Whoa,
Wow, even
yeah.
lower.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say 3.5, and I was like,
What'd
that's
you?
not
I thought
right.
you named it a 2. Rated a 2.
I said 3.
He said 3.
Oh, you said
I should have
3.
said 2. I'm changing it. It's a 2.
Okay.
Say
Okay.
Matt, what do you say?
I was gonna say like 2.5
2.5.
because like they had their good action,
Yeah.
but that was it.
Yeah.
But when they did
the sound.
fight, yeah, but yeah,
That was it. Yeah, that's all I had to say, Dan.
All right, Dan.
I'm gonna say
bring us home.
I'm gonna go 3.5 because I really did like the sound design. I'm all
Yeah.
about it.
He likes
and,
that sound.
and I like the Imperial stuff that we got to see. I mean,
Imperial.
not Bad Batch set aside, but I like the sacrifice that Tech made, being a techie.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
took one for the team, and whether or not it pays off because he's coming back anyway, which makes me happy. So he's not truly gone.
Dan's a
No one's
glass
truly
half
gone.
full kind of guy.
I
Yeah.
try.
He's an
to be,
optimist, and we
because
hate
there's
it.
always something else out.
positivity
I
sucks.
try to be a glass half full kind of guy too, typically, but tonight I
I'm
am
Switzerland.
Yeah, Dustin's
When I'm in a room full of hundreds of people, I'm Switzerland.
not. Do you have a?
He's the whole country.
I have a dark side. Just kidding. No, I mean, if I could rag on anything, right?
Right.
Just like the rest of us, but
Right.
I mean, and there's plenty to rag
You
on.
just
in
try to
this.
see
just
pros and
tames
cons
it
of
a
each.
bit.
I'm trying to
I see
find
that.
the good in this, and that's
common
why
ground.
it elevates that. There were some episodes in this season though that there was no redeeming
just
at
no.
all.
Right.
We've
So-
definitely had lower ratings.
Yeah.
I mean, it was painful, but again, it's goodbye the Bad Batch season 2, as Phil said.
It was about as
Yeah.
satisfying as season 1 was.
Yeah.
Ending like the season 1 ending was very not.
It had a big
satisfying.
shoe to fill, and it didn't fill the shoe, right, Phil?
Right.
Phil, Omega.
Oh my goodness.
What was your
You mean the fact checker?
the fact checker? Yes.
Yeah.
Or am I a
She
clone?
didn't mess up this time, Dustin.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I would say 3 because it did draw me in, but then it was also confusing.
It drawed me in and then dropped me off a
It
cliff.
drew me in and then it erased me.
And it dropped me like tech.
Ooh. Too soon?
Too soon. So what'd you rate it?
A 3.
A 3. Oh, sorry. Okay, I didn't hear that part.
In the comments,
We
we
were all
got 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5 by
said it before
Secret
we started
Songs. Phil, 8 out of 10. But I think he
8
fixed
out of
it. I
10.
think he fixed it.
Yeah. It was before we said.
Yep. 4s. And
See
some
some
4s, some
threes.
3s,
I
some
saw
2 out of
somewhere.
5 by Hannah for the finale. Again,
Yeah.
if it didn't really let them ride off into the sunset, so
No,
we didn't
no.
get any riding off into the sunset. We got like confusion.
We did not get a conclusion. We got a
But
cliffhanger.
I mean, if you liked it,
Not
I'm
a
so
good
happy
one.
for you because we also do enjoy the animated Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
When it's done well, it's the best stuff because they don't have to worry about actors and as far as like film and all this stuff. They can really do anything. That's why they can make the Inquisitors fly like helicopters when they're flying away, or
I don't know.
Right.
Use
Some
that
ridiculous
example.
No, I'm
crap like that.
like you'd never see that and you wouldn't even be an option.
Maybe in Obi-Wan. I almost
Yeah.
thought that was going to happen in
Wait,
Obi-Wan.
that
I
would've
was
been
like,
No
amazing.
joke. It was about
It
that
would've
bad
looked so
with the whole
goofy.
Reva scene, free running scene.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's the stylistic things that they can do. They can make heavy things, and like everybody in the Star Wars animated universe is like so thin, right?
Yeah.
They're
Right.
so thin. Their lightsabers are so thin. The blades, everything about what
Except
they
for on
do.
Pabu.
Except for
Right.
on Pabu. Oh, come on.
Oh, come on.
Poor old fat Mace.
Fat Mace.
Fat Mace.
Forgot he was Mace.
Let's get a Ryo show, Olivia says. Ooh, Flying Inquisitors.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
Ooh, Flying
thanks you guys for your comments out there and chat. And it's been wow.
What did we hit on the subs? I want to know.
Subs.
I think we're still at 184 or 4.
184?
Why do I keep going back?
Why do you
What
keep doing
the-
that?
484 or 485.
485.
485.
So we're
Thank you, everybody out there.
Yeah,
Ooh, we're
really
getting so
appreciate
close to that 500
Nice.
mark. We can't wait to get there, and we have all of you to thank for that. So we've rated it. Everybody's rated it. We've had fun tonight.
Yeah.
We've definitely chewed into these episodes. I might have a little unjustly so. But you know what? We got to keep it real here. We have fun while we do it at the same time. There's still a lot of pros here. And you guys balance us out in the comments, even when we are potentially having a bad day. It's still fun to talk with you guys and have fun chatting away. So, any other final thoughts before we get on out of here?
What a night for Star Wars.
What a
Yeah.
night for Star Wars, for sure.
Season finale, that's a big deal. And so yeah.
I'll say this. Any night that there's Star Wars, good or bad, it's still Star Wars. So, I mean, it's not George Lucas' Star Wars, so it's really like fan fiction Star Wars. But it's still Star Wars, and it's still fun.
It's the highlight of the week. We look
Except-
forward
It
to
is.
this
It
moment.
definitely is.
And I don't know how many of you in the comments stayed up till 3 to watch that. You got to be tired right now, but
Yeah.
unless you slept until 1 or something. But
Unless they're in a different time zone. and
that
it
could be.
came
They
out
could stay out
like
at
a decent
midnight.
time.
That's not bad. Yeah.
But then it would be late probably for them right now.
It'd be early.
Early?
So maybe everybody on here is from
bro?
California or like some time zone where it's maybe they're from New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Zealand.
John Pope is not going to New Zealand. I
He
can
is
tell you
not.
that.
Don't go there.
Don't go there. That was a good choice, probably. Unless you want to see the Hobbit Town.
That is. The
I would
only
love
reason
to
I would
see
go
Hobbit
there.
Town.
That's the only Lord of the Rings, baby.
Walk to
That
Mordor.
plane
Never
ride
seen it.
though. That plane ride.
The heck, Matt?
Gonna leave you on that one.
Matt, what? That is close to a perfect trilogy that will ever exist.
Yeah.
The Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Lord
He
of
has
the
not
Rings.
seen
He's
it.
not seen Lord of the
Never
Rings.
seen
Well,
Lord
he
of the
was
Rings.
born-
Never seen
Oh yeah, you were born.
The
before it came
Hobbit.
out.
Never
Wow.
seen.
The Hobbit book was better than the movies, but
I'm not.
it was
I'm not
still
a
decent.
reader.
They just tried to jam pack too
They
much.
they
in there.
did. They tried to add stuff, and whenever you start adding stuff, you're gonna mess it up potentially.
You're gonna mess it up. You done did messed up.
Alrighty
on.
then.
This is the after show. No, I'm
This
kidding.
is the after
Let's
show.
get out of here. I'm about to fall asleep.
Yeah, we got to get the heck on out of here. It's getting late for us. So thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell your friends. We're trying to get to 500. We're so close. We can taste it. I mean, really, we're trying to
Yeah.
get to 1,000. But 500 is the next mark. And maybe YouTube will send us something else for the 500 mark. Am I right, Nick?
Yeah, you might be.
It's all Mando from here on out. There's
It
no
is.
Bad Batch. So
I'm
we're-
excited for that.
We're
Thank
so
goodness.
excited. We're gonna sink our teeth in, and maybe we can do a Mando Eve next week. We'll see.
Yes.
We'll see what happens.
I
But
think it's going to
the
just
Mando
get
Eve has
better
been a
from
lot
here
of
on out,
fun.
Mando.
and,
Yeah.
I think now that we have a trajectory and
yeah.
a overarching theme, I think
Yeah.
we're going to be pleasantly surprised.
Like Phil said, yeah, it's on to the next mission, and we're ready to go.
Ready to rock.
Phil, hope we meet again. John Pope, thanks for jumping in. He said, "See you next week." Yeah, thanks you all for
Nerds.
hanging
You
out.
call us nerds.
yeah.
Right on, man.
Yo, we got it. We can represent.
Definitely. All right. Well, we'll be back next week. We'll probably be doing a Mando Eve Tuesday, and we're doing another live well, that'll be live, and then we'll also doing a live show Wednesday as well. So stay tuned for that. We're probably going to be dropping some other videos in between, so check those out. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun here, and we appreciate every single one of you. We couldn't be here without you.
Yep.
I mean, we could, but it wouldn't be as much fun. So
We have
thank
been
you.
here without.
We
them.
have been
We
here
have
without
been.
them.
So
we
we're
have been
just
here
glad-
without them. We're happy to have them here with us.
We're glad that we can have a conversation. It's fun to be together and talk
Mhm.
Star Wars.
100%.
That's what this is all about. So,
Absolutely. Build a community.
build the community.
Community.
Plan 99.
That was a fail.
Somebody's dying.
We're losing
Heck,
one of us.
I'm cutting the line.
Yeah.
Yep. Got it.
He didn't
There's
even cut it. He
5
shot it.
There are 5 of us in the room. Someone
Rules.
is not making it back next week.
When have we ever followed
no.
orders? Cut off their legs. All right.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is
we'll
the
catch you
way.
guys
This
next
The way
week.
out.
This is the way.
See ya.
Are you going to mute us this time?
He hasn't muted us yet.
He hasn't muted us yet.